it's a risk. It's a huge risk.
I feel like it could work in the favor, because if you look at G2's Vertigo in the past couple of games they've played so far, they're having a lot of flaws, very evident flaws. And like Heroic said, they're going to be anti-stratting quite a bit. Maybe they figured
great as of late. But I don't know, man. I'm imagining that G2 are going to be coming into this looking to show us they still got it.
Yeah, I do agree. I like the idea that G2 should be the favorites here. I'm excited for Vertigo, right? I don't know where things are going to go there. Are Heroic prepared? Are the anti-strategy G2? Are G2 going to show up on that map? Yesterday, they really didn't. They dropped the ball against North, so we don't want any more of that moving forward, but we are indeed into the action. It's G2 Esports taking on Heroic here for this best of 3 at Dreamhack Masters Spring 2020 Europe. Quite a mouthful, and, well, we're straight into the game. It's Heroic already looking for a bit of an inner exec. They are set up inside of the lobby.
Oh, and look at this. Cadian getting out towards ramp, and he's very, very deep, and that there is Jax just flat out not ready for it. Man advantage taken here for the side of Heroic. Ramp control and hell control going their way. This is going to force G2 to group up and commit somewhere else on the map to try and get a bit of control for their trouble. And with the ability to have these players wrapping through heaven, they try and grab lobby. They do manage to put it in a 3-on-3 as a result. And so now they're set up pretty nicely to attempt this retake. Nexa opening the round up and actually doubling down on the back of it. It all falls onto Cadian in a 1v3. He's wrapping main, and Bomb is planted for here, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's planted for heaven. That's that's not a good one. That's not what you wanted if you're Heroic. That's a bit of a shame. Cadian as well came from hell. That's one of the weirdest things about that.
That's definitely a bit of a mistake. Maybe he planned to go heaven, right? Maybe that was the initial game plan, but switching it up on the fly and trying to go main. Yeah, you know, when you have that main smoke down, Heroic put it in play, so you should be planting for that more often than not, unless you're setting up to play for the retail or to play for the heaven post plant rather. Bit of a weird one, but it's not the end of the world really for Heroic. G2 do get the defuse. Heroic taking a full eco in the second with just P250s. They're looking to buy up sooner rather than later, but G2, well, they're armed right now, and they're looking to put a stop to these Danes to try and get down to the secret. Nice spray from Kenny. Connects a random bullet to the head of Borup, and Heroic a man down, trying to enter the B bomb site. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be pretty, but Tesses will at least provide us a kill here for Heroic. Double peek denied. Bomb dropped. Cadian alone. Going to come main again. Give it another go. This time, sorry, buddy, the bomb's not even planted, so no chance. He could definitely get some kills here, though. That's a lot of noise.
Oh, he's being very, very patient. There we go. There's one. That's pretty much it. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's not it. Maybe no. There, it was it. It was done. Never mind. We'll write that one off. G2, they go ahead and grab that second round. They find the conversion. And well, now Heroic coming in with some money to spend. Going to be bringing out AKs all across the board. I'm a big fan of Amanek still with this auto shotgun. Really curious to see where that looks to end up here for G2. Next to remain, getting flashed off early, and this is forced like a bringing out AKs early rotation. I'm a big fan of Amanek still dropping down from heaven. There is still Kenny waiting around in heaven, but ramp right now is pretty much completely open. Jax has got aggressive into the B site and posted up there, and this is because, you know, they've dropped everyone out from heaven. There's been a few smokes dropped towards outside in the meantime, and they've lost vision on this side of the map. So Jax has posted up very early on down towards B. Heroic sat now with the man advantage on the back of Amanek going aggressive in through the hub. You also pressured ramp from just a little bit there with Kenny, and he's gone hopping away. He's left this side of the map entirely. So Heroic, they've got a lot of map control. Outside belongs to them with this player in secret. They have secret control. They're holding lobby with a man advantage. They keep on finding these frags as well. And yeah, this is a very, very tricky round now for G2. They don't have any map control. They're down a few men. Really, the ball is in Heroic's court at this point in time. And time is really the only thing that could ever be a factor. And even then, they've got plenty of it right now.
But where will they go with it? A site looking likely, with a kill coming from Kenny. It is trading quickly, and that will bait them further into the setup, into the stack. But even then, it's no problem for Heroic. They don't even need to trade past that first kill. Just quick entries and a clean second or first round taken, rather, in number 3. That's going to break the money of G2 very early in this game as well, right? Like, Kenny has a bit of cash for a Hero M4 if they want to force. That might be likely here. If not, he can save for the AWP later. But yeah, I think this is a better buy. 2 guns in this round with a bunch of pistols around it. G2 gonna put their money where their mouth is. Heroic, though, already getting on the board with a nice slow A take. You know that these guys are going to be good on Nuke, even though, at least for the map pool of Heroic, right, like most of the maps they haven't really played. This is a new roster. Nuke's been one of the go-tos. It's their most played right now. But with Vertigo, with Mirage, the 2nd and 3rd of this series, we've got 1 and 0 maps logged respectively there. So not a lot to expect here from Heroic, other than maybe some surprises. And right now, they're doing a good justice here on the T side of Nuke. Just need to get past the force bought G2 side. No kit in this round. Amanek still hanging around above, but he doesn't realize Borup has crept up so close. The shot is quick from Borup. No time for Amanek to spray him down. And now Heroic a man up on one of the 2 rifles that G2 removed. This is going to be a very hard-fought battle for the French.
Oh, Jack. Trigger discipline, tries to wait for the double, but he does get double peaked in response. And, well, 1 by 1, this round's been torn apart. And with Borup still up in heaven, oh, I thought he had a bit more of a chance to get some shots off there. Does actually get dealt with almost immediately. Bomb now getting planted, but a 2-on-3 for G2. They're pretty happy with how this has kind of come down to the wire. They're still going to look to give it a go. Tessa's making first point of contact, and he might come to regret that decision. Kenny has found him on the first peak, and now he's got Nexa in main alongside him. They've seen where bomb's planted for, so they kind of have like a rough idea of where this crossfire could be set up, and it's Stown versus Kenny. Both players on 2, and they're going to need to cement it with the hat trick if they want to win this round out. And Stown has played it beautifully. He's just wasted the clock down. He's giving Kenny no room to maneuver. And so it is going to be Heroic fighting this second round.
Yeah, excellent work from Stown. Gives Kenny enough audio noise and distraction to make Kenny think that he can't get on the bomb without being peaked, while also not peaking Kenny and not risking up his life in the clutch at all. Stown is a very good player, and exciting to see him on this Heroic roster. I always enjoy watching him. It's going to be an eco from G2, right? That save gun for Kenny is all they can muster in this round. Heroic, they know they're not up against a lot. They can afford to play fast in this one, and that will be the game plan. Jax with the Deagle, nice shot. Does get a chance to drop off the back of it as well. So G2 putting up a kill. If this rifle finds a 5-on-3, that's massive, but it's Heroic with the immediate refrag. Nexa grabs the gun, but they've already seen it disappear from the floor in front of them. A trade is not going to be difficult for Heroic, who take full control of Hell and Yard. Fighting back from heaven are the P2Ks, but these are not the guns for the job. Amanek may find 1, but good luck doubling that down from such a range. Nice damage, puts Cadian on 9, but Cadian's down. They will clear up the round, leaving just Hunter in lobby. Not for long. It's Heroic finding 3. They take control back of this game, and finally G2 can reinvest now after a couple of dry rounds with low investments. Warp on Kenny, worth noting. Got that out nice and early on. We do have a Warp on the T side to fight back against him, but Cadian's looking for Nexa in main, and Nexa's not going to give away this pick. Pretty standard door peek. It will be a player on the site trying to provide a bit of distraction, while Nexa just tucks and watches for the main drop. Again, like, you know, G2 probably don't know what to expect from Heroic. What is their default? This team is, you know, hasn't played that many maps, so there's going to be a lot to learn here for G2. Heroic are on the B site very quickly from event drops. Jax is here, and he's dropped the bomb. Cadian will trade. That provides time for Heroic to get this plant in. But in that time, Amanek is already rotated down. He's creating a real problem here on the B-bomb site. Cadian gets a second, but at this point, do they even want to commit towards B? G2 know exactly where that bomb is. Nexa's got a frag. Borup comes in late on lobby and kills the ramp player, and up the vents they can go, but that's exactly where Nexus is. Heroic need to be careful in this 2-on-1, despite the low health.
Yeah, you're going to have to wait this one out, bud. And yeah, the fire stops burning, and maybe it will for G2 in this round as a whole. I don't think Nex is going for this, man. Yeah, he's already kind of bowed out. He's walking over here towards Hell. He's looking for these ramp players. Maybe if they give him a fight, maybe if they give him a duel, then we see him get interested. But a lot of it is hinging on whether or not he can deal with Borup. And I don't know, man. I'm not feeling too good about that one. He's walking around the corner. Borup holding deep within the ramp. And he will put that 4th round on the board for Heroic.
Heroic is seeming very confident just to take straight up aim duels against G2, which is really good considering some of the players that we have on this G2 side, right? Like that is a team that many will fear facing individually, but Heroic don't look like they have that fear at least right now. So that certainly bodes well on the T side of Nuke, where you're going to need a lot of audacious plays to get yourself on this board. Right now, Heroic going for the smokes outside. Not full crossing, but the MAC 10 has gone and beaten everyone to the punch. Nico's already down B. Late outside are the rest of Heroic. That bomb has been spotted on the back of Cadian with the AWP, so G2 know what to expect. And now they know Nico's here, but yeah, that's a classic. So many players do that. They throw the Molotov, they don't wait for it to bloom, and a player plays in front of it for the one and done, right? Jax pushes the molly, he gets the 1 and he is looking very, very warmed up today. Jax has hit some banging shots with that Deagle. So, netting a kill for G2, it means Heroic can't continue down lower. They need to look elsewhere, and Tessus has parred away into this A-bomb site. He's coming up on Heaven. G2 have no information. Closest player is Nexa down lower, and he's about to realize this as he comes in from Hell.
It's just a standoff right now with Tessez up in this position. And that's the thing. If he's able to get into Heaven, if he's able to lock this down, this is such a strong position for Heroic to have. And we'll see them, showing a bit of attention down through Secret, but I think that is just Cadian checking it. It does feel like the plan here is to see what these Heaven players can accomplish. And with Nexa keeping an eye on it, he's not watching actually for the wraparound up on the top Heaven. He's just holding Hell. And so him going up the ladder, it's pretty crazy, but it's actually kind of worked out here for the side of G2. There's no time. Oh, dearie me, Heroic. They've kind of outbrained themselves on this.
Yeah, I was wondering, they definitely left that too long. Like, Tessus is in Heaven, but what he's doing is waiting for Borup to bring the bomb. Now, there's nothing wrong with, grouping up and trying to do that together, but G2, at that point, they're working it out. They're silent for so long. They see Heroic still have lobby. They know it's not a B play as a result, and they're just ready for the Heaven wrap. Nexa lets them take control, and then comes in on a flank up the ladder and drops the bomb. That's a great round for Nexa, and that's one that Heroic, yeah, they just went faster. They just took that top site. They would have won it. So 4-3. Oh, good damage done. That spray is converted into a kill. Hunter finds Borup, and Nex is down on B already, dropping the bomb. Heroic have been hurt in this round, a 5-on-3, and with more damage done. Cadian's on just 2 points of health, and that bomb's still out in the open in the B bomb site. There's a triple rotation for G2, trying to completely control this package.
Oh, Tessa's nice opener in this round. And maybe that's enough to have given Heroic a chance here. It was a 3-on-5, but now 3-on-4. Tessa's with some control down towards B and still just keeping players here, preventing any kind of rotation. This bomb is down, and that is going to be a problem for Heroic. Wonder where this is. Can Cadian look to grab it?
It's out in B next to the silo, so it's really not in a
it's not in a friendly
yeah.
place. Okay.
Next, I got the kill from the window.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter that Heroic have top right now.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty tricky spot to be in. And Tessus is just going to walk to his demise. I think at this point, Heroic had kind of realized it. Like, yeah, getting this bomb, not going to be easy. However, that maybe helps. Cadian. Oh, okay. Now down to the 1v1. And Kenny with the AWP in hand. Cadian, 2 points of health. Kenny only needs to land 1 bullet. But that would be true with the pistol or with the AWP. He's elected. Or the former. Missed shot from Kenny. Tagged down. That's the nade. Done it.
Nice.
Oh, dear. Cadian locks it in with 3. And Heroic, they'll find that 5th round. I don't know, G2. I don't know about that one. That didn't feel like it went the way it should.
I have no idea.
Stellar stuff from Cadian to like be ready for all of this. But I can't believe they were given like so many individual fights from G2.
The vent rotation is certainly a peculiar one when Heroic just saw Amanek on that top site. So yeah, that one I'm not a fan of. Everything else is just great work, right? Like it's Nexa. He'd been holding the stairs a secret for so long. Finally, he gets Tessus come his way. Tessus doesn't have a teammate. He dies. Heroic send 2 more players at it. They trade a kill. Cadian kills Nexa, and what a great sequence against Kenny as well. Baits the door, goes window, gives enough time for Kenny to think that he's above. Kenny looks away. Cadian nades him, and then knows that Kenny, because he's tagged up, has to move away from the nade or he's going to die. So he just walks into Cadian's waiting arms. That's just such a well-played clutch from Cadian, who's on 2 health the entire time, remember, from the start of the round. So from getting down that vent, the spray on Hunter did it. So great work from Cadian, leading by example and putting Heroic 5-3 up here on the T side. It's going to be G2 on a bit of a low buy. CZ's in the armor. Not where they want to be, considering some of these rounds have been so close. In fact, so favored to G2. But it's gone both ways. I mean, G2 won that top site mad round just 2 ago with Nexa coming in on that heaven flank. So, you know, both of these teams can win those ridiculous rounds, and I think that's what makes this series so exciting in Group A.
This is a great chance for Heroic to continue to build upon this lead, right? They've broken down the money at G2. They're looking like they want to go for this top site push. Now, they've been very, very patient here at waiting in lobby. They've been hoping that they can catch G2, you know, maybe trying to lobby crunch, maybe trying to get aggressive. You wait out any utility they might have, and they've got nothing, man. They've really got nothing. So these mollies go down. That's going to force Kenny into the Lion's Den. And now Amanek, he's going to have an attempt as well. He's actually trapped here in the corner. So he doesn't fare all too well, but Nexus certainly does. And now Jack, 1v2. They don't know he's here. They don't know he's at the back of the site. Oh, and oh dear. Oh no, now down to the 1v1. Borup. No! Borup is deleted, and Jack, the hero G2 needed, the D king of this squad, 4th on the board. And somehow, some way, he goes unaccounted for in the back of the site.
Yeah, the full stack. We were just saying both teams could win these ridiculous ecos, and Jax, who has 6 kills, I would be inclined to believe 4 out of 6 of them at a bare minimum are Deagle kills. I've at least seen 4 Deagle kills from Jax, and I don't know how he makes it work, but he does. G2, they'll take that round, although that is not one that should be going their way. It's always great when you have a stack like that. If you're G2, you have like 3-4 players on the site. Heroic kill them all, but they don't kill the last player. And that last player hasn't fired a shot. That last player is hidden the entire round. And so Heroic go, well, we've killed 4A. He's not re-peeking us. He should be trading his team. He's not, so he's not A. And they just completely let their guard down, looking at rotation points, looking at Heaven, looking at Main, looking at Ven. And Jax just pops out from behind them, lines up a shot. You can see Bob trying to escape, looking down at the ground to make his hitbox go away. Not Cadian, Jax rather, will not let it go away. Take it away. And so will Kenny. Now fired up with the AWP after an eco win. G2 are back in control of the economy. Heroic don't have a dollar to their name and already don't have 5 players up. Kenny, he is not done with one. I would not want to go in the yard of Nuke when Kenny has the AWP, but Heroic, they are just feeding the beast. 2 kills. And they're going to fall away from outside. Probably a wise decision. Look elsewhere with these pistols. Oh, Jax, that's not a deagle in your hands.
Oh, and maybe it's something far more sinister. No, actually, he just dies immediately. Kenny here, gonna try and pick up the slack. Oh, and he does. 4 kills for Kenny in this round. And a 5th for G2 up on the board. They're keeping this one neck and neck. They're keeping us nice and close here. G2 maybe out for some revenge after Astralis not being too kind to them in that grand final for the road to Rio. And Heroic, not quite Astralis, but
I took up the distance.
Yeah.
Not the full distance. some of the distance. But that game is right now distant from where we are. Jax, stop, leave him alone, give him a chance. These guys, these poor Danes, you're just dirtying them up, shooting through smokes. Jax is not done, he's got his second. Stown falls as well, and Jax, he'll fall, but not to death, just to the B bomb site where he can look to stop the plant. G2 have control, they have the rotations. Look at the minimap, we've got a Heaven and a Hell player. Almost overkill at this point. G2 have the rotations needed, and Heroic, I mean, they can't even go back. They don't own the lobby right now. They're watching it passively. Borup taking a peek. Jax is still lurking down at B, but he's got enough info as to calm whether Heroic are attempting this lower play. Take a shot, fall off safely here from this position.
Well, Jax has been on a tear in this round here and now, and who knew? He might just continue it. 3 to his name. However, that's him out of the game, and it does fall on to Nico now. 1 on 3, and he has caught a man down at the ramp. That'll be Mr. Kenny S getting bested there in the head-to-head. So now Nico, a very good chance that he might be able to find something in this round. However, Hunter and Amanek still standing on the other side, trying to do everything in their power to stop exactly that. Nico.
TikTok.
Only 7 seconds left on this clock, and he goes into the site, tries to get that bomb planted, and sadly it will be tied. Is the undoing of Heroic there in that round. Hunter just able to hold down that angle, be ever so patient, knows the kill has to come to him eventually, and indeed it will.
Back in action, and Heroic with more pistols to play with. G2 have certainly won more ecos than Heroic this time, but they're going to give it another go with a fast A attempt. The flashes are actually really good. Fully blinded are G2, but they only have to look a little doorway, a little choke point, and hold that mouse 1 button. That's exactly what goes on. Cadian tries to drop vent, misses the vent, doesn't have the bomb either. So even if he got down, it would be of small value to Heroic. Just trying to play with his food, but his food bites back. G2, 7-5. Good CT side so far on Nuke. This is Heroic's map pick in this series. We do have Vertigo coming up. Bit of a question mark in this one. Which G2 do we have today? Will they have an answer on Vertigo? Have Heroic anti-stratted them? A lot of questions on our mind moving forward, but even in this map right now, things are competitive. Alt back out for Kenny, none for Cadian. And fast flashes into the A side, but not the commitment.
Oh, Nexa, here's them dropping. Hunter is the guy who could really make a lot of difference in this round, and now he's going to have to. He's caught a timing in through red, and he isolates that one fight into secret while it's available. But is there going to be anything else? Because now it falls to just him and Kenny. Bomb planted here for the side of Heroic. Going to start to get themselves set up in these post plants, and this double lobby play is something that's very frustrating to deal with if you're G2. Heroic, okay, that's actually fantastic.
Yeah.
They molly Nico out. He was playing at the vents. That's going to force a gunfight out of him, perhaps. And well, with that kill coming in onto Hunter, now maybe it will just be the save for G2. So we started to get a bit excited there, Hugo. It looked like something was going to happen with the molly coming in, forcing Nico down into the vent. Maybe there was like a bit of a timing where Kenny could have got something done. But with Hunter falling and a smoke in main, Kenny decides the best thing he can do is hold on to this all.
Yeah, and he's not wrong either, right? You definitely want that gun in play to stop some of these outside plays from the likes of Heroic. I like that one, right? They throw 3 players in lobby, or 2 players in lobby. They put the door nade in, they put the main smoke, and just a good bit of utility outdoor to keep the A players attracted. Then Heroic, very fast up silo. They drop in front of main together, side by side. One of the big issues about that drop is you'll do it and you'll try and trade and you'll cycle drop players, but because the CT has a shadow advantage, they often just get both. It's like Pop Dog at times, but even better for a CT. And in this case, Heroic, they drop side by side. A bare minimum, the CT can kill one. He doesn't in this case. Heroic mow him down, and they just run in through main alongside those lobby players that threw the door nade. So a quick A split. And all the while Heroic are going silo, they're cycling flashes through T roof, through the sky hole. So yeah, nice round for Heroic. They catch G2 on a quick A play, and that's a nice way of doing it. G2 though still have money, they still have a buy, and 2 rounds left of the half to really make this one count. Who will be taking the lead?
I kind of hope you see a bit more from Heroic at this upper site. I don't know, man. They've just been finding so much success here, but in this round, Hunter, he tries to change that. He hasn't done this before. He gets aggressive in through Secret. There are players that were meant to trade that, and they're not in position in time. That's a bit of a disaster there. Hunter is allowed to just run in, strip a man away, and get the hell out. And that's not ideal, especially not when Cadian and Borup were both in position in the lobby, meant to be able to trade that kill if that did happen. Tessa's here, though. He's decided, all right, we've got a man down. Someone's got to make a big boy play. Why? Stown is able to get down the vents. He's going to try and use this to the advantage of Heroic.
Wow.
However, Jax is one step ahead and is already posted up to deal with him. Testas and the rest of the boys over here towards outside going to go and drop a smoke into Mini. Might like to try and cross into Hell, perhaps. This is something that they've been pretty keen on taking. Might attempt to be another one of these Heaven plays. G2, look at this. They've pretty much completely given up outside, and instead they've aggressed at lobby and at ramp, and they push through ramp with players. So they've got info that this side of the map is clear. They've got Jax down in B. He's pushing Secret. He's about to come up behind Heroic.
Do convert that round. We're going for a break. We're going to be back with the second half. Do join us for the rest of Nuke in just a moment.
It's like a certainty at a bare minimum.
Yeah, retake situation with no kit for Heroic. Not a problem yet, but that can very quickly change, right? 1 or 2 well-placed shots from G2 can put Heroic in a very problematic position. But wait, They're not going for a bomb plant. Kenny has the bomb. He's playing secret. He's playing for a fight here. I think he's just realized he's going to run away, and he almost had an engagement there. This is a weird one because it's just given more time for Heroic to set up. They had 4A. Now they have 3B, but Amanek has taken the first one out. Borup re-peeking, getting the trade, and just like that, it's a cleanup for Heroic. They kill both players in the site, and they get the retake. You got to wonder, if G2 took the plant when they had the site, how would that round have been? They could have, fallen back into post plants, taken better positions, run a crossfire, but instead they just get killed while planting the bomb. 8 rounds for Heroic. That is going to give them the chance to come back. I say come back like they're not already equal in this game, but take the lead perhaps over G2 moving forward.
Yeah, lots of outside control in this round from G2. And while there's quite the response waiting for them on the other side, 2 players here for the Heroic side of things, and also Cadian here with this scout. So actually it's this 3-pronged hold outside, and if you're G2 and you decide to try and commit to this, if you try and get a little cute by going for an A main wrap, then you are going to be walking into what was this triple stack here. Now, to be fair, they have dealt very, very nicely with Cadian. However, that's kind of where the rest of the team are inbound to pick up the pieces, I was going to say, but maybe not. It's down to a 2v3 once again. G2, they've gotten this one a little bit closer. However, all this chip damage being dealt towards the end of the round, that'll be enough to solidify it here for Heroic.
Hopefully, Cadian's learned the lesson of not to buy Kevlar with no helmet against, the cousin of Nico. Not a good idea. Look at that. Boom. One shot. Face. Delete. No helmet. Not going to be a fan of that is Cadian, but he will be okay with the round. And that's what Heroic get gifted at least. They get rid of the pistols eventually. Comes at a bit of a cost, but luckily Heroic, they've got the funds. Right now, Borup, he's looking to make them with a shotgun. $900 a kill. That's certainly a bit of a bonus. That's the game plan here for G2 in this first crucial rifle round on the T side. They've got everything as well. That hard eco in the second just to afford all the utility. Of course, the bomb plant and the pistol as well. Late smokes outside. G2 not throwing the standard red cross smokes. They want to fight towards garage though. Secret Molotov will keep this player back. Tessus can't fight right now. And he wants to as well. He'd love to get flashed out from a garage player, but he can spam the smoke. He's got revenge. He's taking down Hunter. That's a nice way of avenging yourself, but actually Stoun's the one to finish the kill. Either way, team effort from Heroic and a man advantage in this round. Still G2 focusing on outside. Nico has been caught by Jax, who was in the garage, but not for long. G2, they've got this kill. They can leave a player here. They can back up. Remember, Tessus is still in secret, and at any point that molly is faded. He can peek. He can go for info. He's actually dropped a smoke there of some sort, so trying to one-way some info outside. At bare minimum, he's going to know that it's clear, but Amanek is still hiding behind T-Red, or main, rather. T-main. Next, dropping off a little bit. G2 going to make noise going in towards the ramp room. 18 seconds they need to plant.
Yeah, and they don't really have time to dance around it either, right? You got to get this bomb plant or else the round is over. So this here now means that Stoun and co, they really could lay this round to rest. And with that one kill, it's done, no matter how hard G2 tries.
Oh, he's +5. Oh, almost died there.
But G2 leaving that round down to the timer once again. And you're bang on, Hugo. Borup got a little risky at the end. A little risky, but it's all right. They'd already won the round then. 10 rounds on the board now for Heroic.
Yeah, it is very much like G2 forgot about the clock that round, just kind of desperately running towards ramp into B. They left a lurk outside, but really there wasn't time for Amanek to do anything outside because bomb didn't get planted. G2 just denied immediately. And I like how Heroic, you know, a lot of the game in Nuke and these vertical maps is about misinformation as a team and trying to get your opponents to over rotate. And Heroic don't want to, you know, drop 3B the second they lose secret because G2 could just walk back up vent or go outside again. So Heroic in that 20-second bomb plant rush that G2 went for, Heroic didn't fall for it. They didn't think, oh, G2 were trying to fake us. They just knew what was going on. They triple rotated to the doors. They had 3 in secret, and they just shut out any chance of G2 winning that round. So good rotation for Heroic, not playing any funny games. Oh, the flash outside Nico. He doesn't see, he doesn't know, but he's got an idea. And Amanek, well, he's got nothing. Out of this round, deleted. So is Nico by Nexa, who's also having a strong performance in the server. He was waiting in the yard. Tessus takes a shot from Kenny, and there is still a player pushed below Silo. That's down. That's information that G2 don't have, and with the drop-off back for Hunter, that's something that's going to get heard. Stow can comp to Cadian to move away from this position and go help his teammates elsewhere. Right now they don't know though. With smoke standing outside, that should keep these players in position, but that only benefits Stown, who's watching for this cross.
Ooh, and he's let the first man go by. Down, trying to play the trigger discipline here. Now he's got to hope that all of this wasn't in vain, because he has let Hunter slip down through secret.
Oh, I love this.
And he's going to use this timing now to go aggressive. And I do love this, Hugo. As far as G2 are aware, this isn't a possibility. Hunter is all the way down, through outside, through secret. Nex has been holding lobby this entire time. And so Stown could just blindside him and win the entire round. But Nexa with a quick flick. Oh my goodness. Borup's auto shotgun doesn't find anything. And, well, talk about an anticlimactic ending to a round. Maybe not. Maybe Cadian can deliver us something stellar. Come on, Cadian, let's go. Never mind. It's all on to Tesses in a 1v2.
And he's not really got the health nor the kit for it. Bomb been planted, and Hunter looking for the fight. He's already crossed, and he's got his eyes on main. Tesses nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. Smoke in his face, and Hunter's playing it. He doesn't want Tesses to sneak through to cheek his way into the round. And so Tesses will just have to turn the other one and save. That is a great example of how volatile Counter-Strike is. You can play everything right. You can fully set up. You can coordinate with your team. You can do everything to the best of your ability, and you can still lose the round. To be fair, Stown did completely whiff that shot. He cleared out lobby right, and from that info, he goes in his head, he's like, yeah, G2 are radio. They're all ramp. He's told Tessus to back off who was low. Tessus is playing passive. Not anymore. This is a danger. Nice kills from Tessus, though. And yeah, Tessus falls out of ramp, and then Stown comes in on his flank, and G2 bail. They decide not to go ramp because of the smoke so late, and so they walk back to lobby, and Stown didn't expect them so deep in the lobby. That's so unfortunate, but great shot by Nexa, right? Like, you know, Stown should have had that kill. Nexa is the one that takes it away, that removes the possibility. He's 23 and 14. He has been very fast right now. 8 multi-kill rounds for Nexa. And he's trying to take G2 over the line. This may have been a hard-fought battle, but their first T-side round put on the board. Feels kind of crazy to say that, but this has been a very good CT side from Heroic. A lot of, you know, close rounds that looked like they were going G2's, you know, stolen away at the last second. Talking about those bomb plants on B, for example, or lack of. Heroic, their money is on edge, and they're going to decide to force up against G2's pretty skewish buy as well. Galil double SMG. And so don't count Heroic out of winning this force buy round. We've had plenty of eco wins in this map alone.
Oh, Cadian and his scout. Not a man to be trifled with when he's donning the baby AWP. Nade finding some good damage only makes the scout more effective. The reason why the nade has worked out so well, though, is that G2, they've got everyone down through secret, and into the pistols they go. Eagle has found one. Stown holding down the vents, and he is going to get traded, but a nice shot onto Hunter. And oh dear, how is this happening? How is this happening? The CZs are wrecking.
Yeah.
G2. This is not how they envisioned this round going down. Nexa has made some progress towards outside, and he's waiting to deal with Cadian. Cadian never knew. That's a great example of Nexa, you know, just getting the info, having a read as to what's going on, because he's been given that much more information to work with, and just waiting. And now he's put it into a 2-on-2. Tessus is holding B alone. in all fairness, Jax is still here with the bomb. That kind of scares me a bit. But I think they're just waiting, right?
Yeah.
Just seeing if Nexa can catch players in rotation, seeing what information Jax can get down on B. They've still got time, but we've seen time be a problem for G2 before. I don't want to say we haven't, because that would be lying. 30 seconds.
Not here, though. G2 can't mess up this round of time. 25. They're going for A. He's going to come up the vent. It's all down to Borup, the low HP player with only a pistol. He's got a kill already. He's playing the site. He's playing hidden, trying to swing off the audio. They don't check it. Borup drops the bomb. 10 seconds. Oh, he's messing around with smokes. That will get him killed. The CC takes so long to draw, and Nexa is already inside of the site. He now has a smoke to plant in, and that's perfection. Tessus is coming in on the ramp flank. He can climb heaven, but Nexa has the room to move inside of the site. He has the smoke at his feet, and he's moved back towards the door as well. Nexa shuts it out. Of course he does. 3 kills from the in-game leader, and G2 will find 10 rounds. That eco, oh, it's close. It may be close, but it's not a round win for Heroic. Very nice try, that being said.
It's such a shame, because you could tell at first Borup's mindset there was to try and like make a play. He thought that both players were pushing him, because I think otherwise he would have waited even more time just for that plant to be like drawn out, right? Like waste even more time off the clock. You can see though, he swung immediately to the right after taking that kill. And I think, if he knew that the other player was a little ways away, we might have seen him, just slow that down, draw out the max amount of time on that bomb plant, all like 3.5 of those glorious seconds. And that really could have made all the difference, because as the bomb got planted, Nexa had 5 seconds in that round. If you'd waited, 3 seconds to deny the bomb plant, they wouldn't have had it. So it's a shame how close that one comes and how Heroic just aren't able to get it over the line. Now they're only down. Oh, sorry. How Heroic aren't able to get it over the line. Now they're down to pistols, Hugo.
Yeah, and G2 playing it painstakingly slow. Think about how fast they rushed into Secret and the problems that arose in that last round, right? Obviously, it was more for Heroic in terms of investment, but CT Armor, and they got a lot of kills down lower B, so G2 don't want to make the same mistake. They're playing it a lot more methodical and safer. Clearing the outside, clearing the lower site. Heroic quad stack on B. G2 are moving through. Oh dear, they're going to walk right into this. They're going to commit into the stack. Now, it still shouldn't be too much of a problem unless Heroic play things very, very well. G2 having a look, seeing nothing, and darting up the vent. I love it. Just no interest, nothing to do with it. Hunter's already cleared this from Mini, and so Kenny, he can hang around on B and do damage. He gets one and escapes. Low HP, not wanting to give away a gun. He's going to be able to save on A. Bomb planted, and Heroic wishing they were in another place, especially away from that B bomb site. The timing. Ooh. Hunter's got it. Oh, at least the damage. He's put Nico low. Nico is going to have a tough time escaping here. This SMG, it wants its money, it wants its reward, and it's running and gunning for it. Nico's been taken down. Hunter being dropped. Kenny, low HP, got to be very careful. That's an AK gifted over, but they won't get away with it. Cadian stops them, or Amanek rather, stops Cadian. And G2 won't save the gun, but they will save the round. 11-10 on the T side. Back in the lead for the first time since, well, I mean, the opening few rounds of this game.
Yeah, no off on Cadian anymore. No money for it on this Heroic side. So I wonder if we see G2 go back towards outside. If they're able to figure this out. They know the money isn't that great for Heroic. They are stacking up here. Once it gets thrown on over, but that's actually in towards A. That's going to block off main, so... It's actually not main. It's a smoke to get down the vent, but no one's committed to that. Nothing more than a bit of a ruse here from G2. Nico getting up on top of the blue bit, peeking over. Does have Cadian back in garage as well. They've got a bit of a crossfire, a bit of a trade potential between the two of them. Hunter gets caught over the top of this smoke, and now Cadian's going to go through his in garage. I think they've seen him. They're spamming him down. Stown has found a man over by main, and Cadian dropped. Nico does get a trade. He goes 1-for-1, but that's going to keep this in favor of Heroic. And one by one, G2 just get picked apart in that round there.
Yeah, just looking for fights, right? And Heroic have so many players on the yard. 2 garage side, they have Stown and Main just being a nuisance, and Heroic really good at just jiggling, pivoting, and taking kills. Doesn't help that that first fight comes through as a smoke phase. Amanek kills the garage player, but then because the smoke fades in Main, Stown instantly trades and just goes on a tear, getting 3. And that's broken the money of G2. This game is so weird, so back and forth. Neither team has been in control of this map at all. Like, no one has been safe. No one has been holding a convincing lead. Every time someone gets ahead of the other team, they lose the next round. And yeah, it's just not clear where this one's going. G2 have to work on Heroic's map pick. I mean, this really sets us up for a 3-map affair, but I don't think that's a surprise given not only the level of these teams, but the fact that Heroic have clearly come into Dreamhack Masters very prepared. 11 all eco for G2, trying to cross outside with not a nade to their name. They could just try and fight A main if they want. That might just be the best case scenario. Good grenade from Cadian. What damage will it find? Nothing. It's down to the rifle instead. Bomb drop very deep, in fact, for Cadian. He can pivot and try and find a little more value from this gun. He spotted 2 more outside. Kenny gets a quick shot. Cadian again, not biting the head on one potentially, and that's going to come back to bite him 1 by 1. G2 are falling in this round, and Stan will have no problem ridding the last of his life. Nexa getting hunted, and it's a shotgun to do the dirty. 12 to 11, Heroic in the lead, but for how much longer?
Well, attack ports called in from G2. They got to try and figure this out. Right now, Nexa leading in a very, very big way. 27 kills on the squad. Approaching that 30 bomb. Top fragger in the server by a large margin. And we want to see a bit more from the rest of G2. They can get the AWP in this round if they would like. It's not really been much of a mainstay here over on the T side. Heroic now in the lead. And G2, they know time is starting to slip away from them. Heroic are trying to run away with this series, or this map rather. And what is the solution going to be? Outside control really hasn't been working for G2 that reliably. They've kind of been hinging on Heroic making mistakes out on this side of the map, and Heroic just haven't been giving these kills over. And in this round, actually, it looks like we could have a man going aggressive. Stown over in main, actually, instead. He's hidden in the back right. And so instead, Cadian's holding outside this round with a with an AUG from CT Sport, just watching this very, very narrow angle. Now, this is great as long as no smokes go down, but I don't see a world in which you take outside without any smokes going down, Hugo.
Not with rifles, not at all. Not considering how much G2 have been punished in this outside area in the past, so they're looking to do some punishing of their own. Amanek is alone, though, behind the red box, throwing grenades and keeping up appearances in the yard. G2 are going to group up back towards the ramp room. Oh, this is a bit of a read from Heroic. They're not falling for this. G2 have gone for a lot of outside fakes in this game, and Heroic are ready with 2 on the ramp. Make it a third. Cadian's come on rotation. Tesla's fighting from CT with a bit of a spray. Cadian re-peeking. He gets 1. Nico's still here, and he's not died. Flick from Hunter. Ridiculous shot, keeping G2 in a 2-on-2 in this round, and now Amanek's lurk outside can come into great effect. He hears the vent drop. He knows one's lower. Borum's about to show his hand, though, and now all the info is in the hands of Hunter. 1-on-2 for the ace clutch against Heroic.
Yeah, this would be wild. We needed someone to step up alongside Nexa, and if Hunter's that man, like he so often is, then let's do it. Hunter, he needs the ace. He needs this 1v2, and it's not going to happen. Borup deletes him on the first peak. Stown is never even needed, and a defuse is going to come through for Heroic. Looking to loot some weapons. Nothing presents itself, so they're going to let Borup grab that defuse. He has earned it.
Small victories, as well as a round, which is obviously appreciated by Heroic. And now, this is their map pick, Harry. They're set up with a 13-11 lead. Vertigo, the second map of the series, a map Heroic have played once since forming this roster. We have no idea what to make of that. G2, it's been a good and a bad map for them. They're currently on a 4-loss streak. So, yeah, there's that to worry about, certainly, with Heroic potentially setting up for a 2-0 here. But knowing G2 should have the depth on that map. But I'm just recalling that North game where that didn't really show through, where North were able to just take a victory on the CT side with a lot of standard rounds, and G2 not really adapting too much on that T side, which is where we often see them do so well. I just don't want more of that from G2. If they're going to fall in this map, I hope they bring their A game on Vertigo today. Heroic set up with an anti-eco. G2 barely any investment. They got util behind the pistols and some light kev on 2, but right now Heroic just waiting in the wings. Cadian, first time we've seen the orb outside in the secret as well, this deep in the game. It shouldn't get seen, it shouldn't get spotted, at least not here now, because G2 are fully stacked inside, apart from Amanek on his constant lurks. You can drop main roof, for example, come in on this flank. That is pretty common if G2 want to take upper. Feeling out the ramp room, but remember, not only are there 2 players there, but Stown can play that quick rotate from heaven. Right now he's occupied towards the hut, throwing in some util. G2 spotting ramp side, keeping Heroic at position, and if anything, just jumping and doing that like Jax's keeps 2 at ramp. That weakens the A site, but as I say that, Nico's begun a rotation. He's gone up the ladder and he's in A now, so this is a good time to hit ramp. Cadian's coming from lower, he's swapped position, leaving the outside open because G2 has shown no presence there all round, and now with 20 seconds they got to go.
They have to. They've got to make their mind up. They've got to go for this play, at the very least, just to die. Yes. And 15 seconds. This is weird, man. They're going to try and go down to B. They might be afforded a bomb plant at a bare minimum, but even if a kill comes into this bomb, that is the round gone for G2. Dear. And they do manage to find the plant. Down to a 2-on-2. Nico keeps it in the advantage of Heroic. It's very, very back and forth here down towards the B site. Somehow, some way, G2 have gotten a bomb plant. Nexa on for the 30 bomb, and he needs it if he wants to win this round. The wrap is good, and he has removed a man. It's all on to Nico in a 1v1. He taps the bomb, and he's up against Nexa, who's on 30. Molly's been retrieved, and the round should be denied on the back of that Molotov. Nico still hanging around, and Nexa takes them all to the grave with him. 31-17 on Nexa, and a 12th round for G2. There's still a chance yet.
How many eco wins? Someone needs to do the maths. I've lost count. 4, 5 maybe at this point. And that wasn't even like a force buy or like a big investment for G2. They had 2 keved players, a MAC-10, 4 pistols, and a few flashes and smokes. That ramp burst, the pop flash doesn't even work. The player just got caught rotating and was overwhelmed by the pistols and the deegs. G2 dropped B with 15 seconds. Last time they did that, Heroic had a full setup there. This time, because it's so late, because Heroic had rotated Nico back up onto the A site, they are late to B. G2 are able to get a plant, and Nex is able to clutch out a 1-on-2. Great work from him, keeping up appearances. You know, as soon as I saw him in the clutch with 30 kills or with 29, I mean, you basically know it's done. A lock-in for G2. A 12th round, a chance to keep this game going still. And Heroic, well, they're going to give them an eco round. Stown with an AWP board up in this one. A bit of a risk. We've seen these rounds be won, though, in the past off of just a hero AWP, but Stown's really going to have to pop off in this one. He's dropped secret early, going to go fight towards outside. And what this does mean, if G2 go for a same round like last, and they don't show any outside presence, Stown can just save. But that's not the case for this one. G2 have a few boys moving through the yard, and Stown might have his work cut out for him.
Yeah, he's got Cadian with him as well. Cadian donning that smoke is going to be able to help bail Stown out. And, you know, worst case scenario, if Stown falls, Cadian's going to be able to retrieve that off. And that's not even that bad if you're Heroic. Now, outside, the kills actually get split pretty evenly. Stown deletes one through the secret smoke, never even sees him. And that's going to keep a 2-on-3 available here to Heroic.
Ooh.
Stown's ordering Cadian to go up first. Cadian is obliging, so that's how you know he's a real team player. Could have just baited the orb, but that's the difference between Cadian
and you
and me. And so now Cadian going to set himself up inside of 8. Cadian's kind of like, you know, like an alarm system, right? Like you think about that, you know, people get them put on their homes, someone tries to get in, the alarm goes off, and it's going to notify the proper people. And in this case, the proper person is Stown. So the Cadian alarm starts blaring, and Stown,
he might just let his home
he actually might just say, you know what? I finished my shift in a matter of minutes. I think I might just give this one a miss. He's going to hold on to the AWP down at B. G2, a 13th on the board, tying this one up.
And that's the thing, like, you know, this is going to have big consequences, but I don't know for whom, because I don't know what to expect from Vertigo, from that T-side of G2, from the entire game for Heroic. A lot of Danes have made, you know, Vertigo a home map. And that's good, right? North have looked really good on it. They beat G2 yesterday in this series, so we know it's there, we know it's available. And we expect Heroic to have, you know, some level of capability on it, but G2 right now, they might be setting up for what could be a 2-0. I think either team has the ability to beat their next map. You know, obviously, that's kind of a null and void statement in and of itself. Anyone can win. I'm very inclusive, aren't I? But yeah, you know, I don't know where, because I feel like whoever wins this map is likely setting up for a 2-0, you know, very possibly. But at the same vein, you know, it could fall apart. So let's just wait and see. Let's not theorize. Let's not suspect. Let's find out.
I mean, you did say one thing, right? That's either team can win. Yeah. And that is usually how this works.
It's definitely true in this game.
It really is, though, right? 13-13, and a lot of it is hinging. More particularly, a lot of it is hinging on this round for Heroic. If they don't pick this up, they go 14-13 down. They've got no money. They're staring down the barrel of an eco up against 14 rounds. And that wouldn't be the same situation G2 find themselves in if they lose this round. So pressure's really on here for the Danes. They've had the lead all game long. It feels like they've been able to claw their way back into this one. And it was them sitting in the lead. Well, now it could elude them if this round doesn't go their way. Nico has come in with a big old kill out here outside, though, and taken an early man advantage. G2 trying to play this one in a 4-on-5, and it's quite the man to lose as well. Hunter might not be top of the board for G2, but you can't argue with, especially on this T side, he's had a lot of impactful rounds. And so what can the rest of the gang do to pick up the pieces? Everyone's blind. This is chaotic. Amanek, how on earth does he win that? Cadian still inside of the site, still ready to be a nuisance. And oh, bomb plant not denied. But however, it's all onto Kenny in a 1-on-3. It's not the easiest spot for this man to be in. It was his birthday yesterday. Let's see if he's feeling nice and fancy for us today. Kenny S, first kill coming in. He's looking for even more, and they are pressuring him. They overwhelm Kenny. Defuse Heroic, and 14 on the board. But with a bomb plant for G2, with the loss bonus, tally still ticking over a little bit. And with residual cash in these bank accounts, there will be a buy available to the G2 squad up against 14.
That's kind of what we want, right? You don't want anyone to get broken this late in the game when both teams have poured their heart out, winning and losing eco rounds, doing everything they need to. At least we have full guns for what will be the last couple of rounds of at least regulation. Overtime is still a possibility. It's how we opened the show yesterday with Astralis and Heroic. Maybe Heroic just love plus 30 round games. Maybe they're going to give us one of them today. Right now holding the lead, not looking to lose anymore. Nade on the door, Cadian's going to fight for it. You don't often see CTs blowing that one out, so Cadian very keen for kills here for Heroic, especially with the AWP in his hands. Why wouldn't he be? He's going to go for it. Oh, Cadian, what a heroic play. He's going to be able to get away with a frag onto Jackson, a drop down vent with the smoke on the door. Actually not even needed. Heroic hang around. Cadian smokes and drops instead. He knows he doesn't need his as much for B, whereas Stan would like to hold on to his for later on. Cadian can just, you know, win fights on that B bomb site with the AWP rather than just constantly smoking off the choke points. Combined with the fact that G2 currently aren't outside, makes more sense. But they might be outside because the smokes are going to land. G2 will move through. Got that Mac 10 leading, Amanek. We talk about how, you know, yesterday we saw a fun fact, more Mac 10 kills from this man than Glock and USP kills combined. It's not as much as a surprise when you think about how much he's on this gun in rifle rounds. He's not going to go behind those smokes outside. Cadian knows it. He's already B, so Tessa spots the ramp play, and he knows that someone from G2 is here, but it's only a ruse. 3 coming out the A site into this crossfire. Oh. Yeah. We talk about the opportunities available and the money still being there. Well, G2 lose the round they need most, and that's the result of it. Broken up against Matt Point of Heroic's pick, next to 33 kills. He's on a deeg. 15-13. And Nico, he's got the info. He just spotted a bunch down on B. That's the bomb as well. So now a full rotate can come through. Heroic they know they need to play for this lower bomb site. Tess is here. He doesn't know how deep they are. Oh, they've already opened the door and pushed close. He's got fumbling with nades. He could die to this. Luckily, Nico's got the cover from the window. The smoke at the bottom of the stairs buys him time, but that time is about to expire. Grenade follows. Tess is playing out of the site. Nico's been finished off by a grenade of Amanek's choosing, and Cadian finds an orb kill. Bomb plant in and retake on for Heroic.
Oh, Borup and his auto shotgun making quick work of the first man, but Hunter is able to swing. 2-on-3, G2 desperate to keep themselves afloat here on Nuke. And Amanek gets caught in the back. All the pressure's on to Hunter now, and he spots his first man, but they know where he is. He knows where they are. And three of them outweigh the one of Hunter. Defuse is going to come on through, and it's Heroic taking their map pick 16-13 over the G2 squad. Heroic setting us up for an exciting series now. All right, I'm starting to believe in the Heroic boys. I came in today thinking that this was going to be a G2 series. Well, now I'm not too sure. I really liked what we just got to see there on the Heroic side.
That was really, really good. I mean, Heroic impressed us yesterday, right? You know, you always kind of forget about the game when the team doesn't win, but the fact that they take Astralis, even with Yugi, to an overtime, to a 16-14 loss, Heroic showed a competitive game yesterday, and now they one up that. Now they take a map off of G2. We move to Vertigo, a map that G2 have picked, yes, but are also on a 4-loss streak on. So a bit of worrying waters for G2, perhaps. We'll see what our analysts make of it, of course, after the break. So do join us for that second map in just a moment.
Flashbang's affected. They have got through the smoke wall here, but Chris J, he is the final boss of the bomb site.
Now Spitty and Chris J to keep Mousesports alive.
Oh, Chris! He's found three! It's down to a 2-on-2! Chris, can he close this with an ace? Oh my god!
Can they actually close this out? Boom, Chris.
Fantastic way to start, and no scopes on him himself. Absolutely saving Mousesports.
Hey, it's me, Lily from AT&T. I'm back, working from home, and here to help.
Hey Lily, I'm hearing a lot about 5G. Should I be getting excited?
Depends. Are you gonna want faster speeds?
I will.
More reliability?
Oh, also yes.
Better response times?
Definitely.
Are you gonna be making sourdough bread?
Oh, is that 5G related?
No, it's just like, why is everyone making sourdough now? But yes, you're gonna want 5G.
AT&T is building 5G on America's best network. Visit att.com to learn more.
The damage he's done. Sweet little whispers he will say in your ear. I know that Mr. Man is loving my dear. He'll break your heart like it's fun, 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 fun. That boy's a loaded gun. Ooh, take it to the grave. Ooh, all the loving you gave. Take it to the grave. And don't admit to
And we're back from our break, and man, that was such a close map. I thought Heroic were going to win that first half outright and just go snowball away with that map win, but G2, they fought out all the way into the end there, Sudan.
Yeah, they did indeed. And Trace, I want to know your thoughts on this one. This one was quite a topsy-turvy game.
Yeah, it was a little bit all over the place, but honestly, I look at this and I say, okay, well, G2, you know, you have this inability to sort of squander leads from time to time. Now, you know, it just seems to be a recurring trend. Nonetheless, it is done. It is over with. Blair, how are you feeling on the outside?
Great. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling like I'm probably looking, which is a little shy of $5 to $10 right about now. But of course, we do have Christine here as well. Christine, what was your take up on the match?
You know, I was shocked, disappointed, and satisfied all in one watching this nuke. I thought that G2, you know, once again, Nexa, he's such a skilled, talented individual, and it's confusing to know when he's hitting these kinds of shots, when you have Jax just bullying all of that ramp area. How is this G2 side of things not closing out these rounds? How are they not having more of a dominant CT side of things on this nuke? And it's just, it's some connecting dot that's just not connecting for the G2 side of things.
Yeah, but perhaps connecting over on the other side would have to be that of Heroic. Obviously, when we look at a player like Katie, and he had certain impact in this series so far, at least on nuke he did.
Yeah, he did. He had that crazy 1v3 clutch as well. But again, I felt like for Heroic, taking nothing away from them, they had a game plan in mind. They were looking very good, but they were afforded too many opportunities by G2. And credit to Heroic, I'm sorry, for taking advantage of that, right? There was one round in which I do believe it was Stav, and he had the flank. He was behind the T's in T lobby, and he completely whiffed his shot. A couple of mistakes here and there. But then whenever G2 made a mistake, like for example, 1v3, where they just peeked him 1-by-1, and Kenny S was left in a 1v1 with him, and he was at 2 HP or something ridiculous, and Kenny had no idea. Like a little bit of comms failing here and there. It's small little things which teams like Heroic, they have the system in place, they have good players as well. They're going to take advantage of that. And going into Vertigo, I don't know, man. G2, I picked them to win this one, but they continue to disappoint me. It's like my mom talks to me all the time. You're a disappointment, son. It's like that.
Yeah, she got a little deep, of course, but that's what we like around here. Raw emotions in real time. And Christine, with Vertigo being a real and raw thing, basically, let's talk a little bit about Vertigo. What are you anticipating right here?
You know, I'm anticipating Heroic to actually 2-0 this series. You know, I thought G2, obviously, they're very practiced on Vertigo. They're willing to go ahead and pick it coming into this series. I think it has to do with their loss yesterday. I'm sure they went into the server, went over exactly what their mistakes were. North were looking really strong on that. I do have to say, though, G2, they were putting up a fight. Early on in that first half, the scoreline was 5-5. G2 were fighting neck and neck consistently until North just kind of snowballed that first half to make it a 10-5, which in turn made it much more difficult for G2 to posture for a map win coming into that second half. But I do think that if Omnic kind of went over exactly how he wants to approach that A ramp, then he should have a better time, because it was really that A bomb site that they were losing consistently to North yesterday.
Yeah. And it's a little bit of that neck and neck battle that we have right in front of us. And that, I mean, by Heroic being on the other side. We're going to go to a break. We're going to come back with Vertigo and two of the more lovely casters that we have to offer within the community. It's going to be Harry and Hugo. We'll be right back after this.
We're near the end, baby. No matter what we do, it keeps ticking away, ticking away. You are my summertime love in the faraway place. With your loving soul and that beautiful face. No one can know about the days I spent in your embrace. You're no good for me, it's what they're all gonna say. You are my summertime love. When we go back, no one will know how we were. You are my summertime love. Out on the beach watching the stars up above. You gave my summertime love. Before you, I just didn't know what love was. You gave my summertime love. You gave me summertime love. You gave me summertime love. You gave me summertime love. Before you, I just didn't know what love was. You gave me summertime love. Before you, I just didn't know what love was. You gave me summertime love.
Welcome back to Dreamhack Masters Spring. We do have that second map between Heroic rather and G2, the wrong Danish team here on Vertigo. Nuke, well, that was a close affair. It was Heroic to take it away, and now moving to the map pick of G2. I don't really know what to make of things, Harry. G2, they've dropped the ball a little bit in a map that we know they can play. Vertigo, another map we know they can play. Will they pick it back up?
Yeah, I mean, that's quite a big question, right? This has been the problem with G2. Like, one of the things that was so great about this squad early on is it felt like they could win any round. Whereas now it feels like, yeah, they can win any round, but they can also lose any round. And that's like, I don't know, man, it gets a bit worrying. Like, the amount of times I see G2 in 4-on-3s, 4-on-2s, manage to let it slip by the wayside. It's pretty scary, right? Especially for a team that's vying to become one of the top teams in the world. And, you know, I think when we were at the Road to Rio, Hunter said that he feels like they're only playing at like 30 to 40% right now. I think we need to see this G2 kicking it up a bit and, you know, picking up the kind of momentum and the confidence that they both deserve and kind of need in this situation. You know,
remembering they've not had much of a break between the playoffs of Road to Rio and coming into Masters. I mean, no one has. It's only been a few days, but you know, even Malik saying in the interviews, they're saying like, oh yeah, we want to improve. You know, we know we're not playing at our peak. We know we can do better. Well, this is the time to provide the results. Obviously, some of that takes work, some of that takes preparation. But I mean, you know, everyone's here in this tournament. Everyone's showing up to play. You can't afford to not be in peak condition, peak form. Even given the situation, even given the fact that we're online. Heroic have shown up today. Astralis showed up yesterday. North looked good as well. We've had all the pieces of the pie. We just need G2 inside of this group because right now, the triple Danish threat inside of Group A is looking better than G2.
Yeah, it is, and that's scary, right? Like, you know, if G2 don't manage to pick this up, they've lost to 2 of the 3 teams here in Group A. Like, that's not a spot you would ever expect G2 to find themselves in. And, you know, I think you're looking at it and you're like, oh, G2 in the same group as Astralis. You know, maybe we can anticipate some losses. Well, they haven't even played them yet. You know,
they can go 0-2 with Astralis yet to play, and that's a game that G2 have not been favored. They've been getting battered. I mean, you know, who hasn't been getting battered from Astralis? That's worth noting. At least as of, you know, since Katowice pretty much, or since, I guess, Pro League, you know, they didn't quite make it to the finals
almost
there.
Like last few years, right?
Yeah,
like,
you know,
it's just been like Astralis kind of,
last year.
Looking pretty good.
Yeah, they're all right.
These Danes, don't know if you've heard of them, this little plucky team called Astralis. They're pretty good at Counter-Strike.
Remember G2 on Vertigo, it may be their map pick. They're on a 4-loss streak. Now, 2 of those games are versus Astralis and 1 more versus North, but more Danish teams that have been beating G2 on this map. And Heroic, a map up, got to be feeling confident as they head into Vertigo. The best part here for Heroic is they have 1 map logged here on Vertigo with this roster. So there's no preparation G2 can do. There's no anti-stratting or reading of their opponent, not at least coming into the game, so they're going to have to do it on the fly. Quick mid-molly for Amanek, he's going to land on the scaffolding. Here come the team.
You touched upon, like, there's not much to go off of. Well, that means that for G2, they probably really tried to, like, the idea of reinforcing playing their own game, but that could play against them, right? Like, if you're doing the same as always, Heroic might be ready for it. And in this round, there's some early trades going down over here in middle. It's a 4-on-4 with an attempt to split into this B bomb site. And Borup, trying to hold the line, wasn't able to do so. Cadian gets one himself. And it is now all onto Tessez in a 1v3.
Oh, but everyone's so low. He's trying to finish the job. Hunter finished off, and now bomb planted. They're already getting close. Tessez, one bullet in the mag. He's not going to hit it. Kenny down to 13. He just needs 2 connecting shots in this round, and that would push him over the line. There's one, but he doesn't know Nexus crossed to the back of the bomb site. Oh, he gets spotted. Tessez doesn't realize, and Nexus backpack, it almost gives him away, but instead he fills it full of bodies and takes G2 over the mountain.
Yeah, that's quite the mental image. Nexus body backpack. Over the mountain he goes. Wasn't a monster coming over the hill. It was a Nexa with a bag full of bodies. And well, here, Heroic, only down to these pistols. It's pretty cool. They're all over on A. What can they do? Tune in tonight at 9 p.m. to find out.
Yeah, we're actually putting a pause in for a lot of hours now, 6 hours.
Of course, we will be anxiously awaiting the result of this one.
An extended hiatus from the action for Heroic as G2 move up the ramp. They are going to be committing to A, though, by the looks of things. 5 players here for G2, with Jax coming in late. So Nico's got a flashbang ready. He's going to jump throw that, pop it around the corner. This could work for Heroic in getting a couple of kills, but converting the round is unlikely here, and they might just die before the flash even gets thrown. Look at how close Kenny is already. Oh dear, Molly goes, Nico flashes, but there it is. They line up. Kenny beats them to the punch, and they all go down like a house of cards. Cadian, good luck.
Wow, you really going to jinx him like that? He was about to make a play.
Yeah, I bet.
He was just throwing Cadian under the bus, and he didn't get anything done.
Oh,
this was great from Kenny. Like a nice bit of spray control as well, even to find that 4th guy at the end. They're only pistols, though. We're not going to hype Kenny up too much on the back of it, but it's nice that he started strong here in this map. I think that's going to be... you know, for G2, I don't even think we're asking for much. Just like one more guy to step up alongside Nexa, and that'd be fine. Like, I think G2 would be fine with that as well.
He got like 33 kills back on New Carry. They still lost the map. Winning like 1-on-2s as well on eco rounds for G2. Like, you know, really should have just won the game off with the performance from Nexa, but that shows that sometimes a team is more than just one man. Because Heroic have a really, really great game back on Nuke. Nice little re-smoke, keeps G2 outside of the site for now, and that's exactly what they want, defaulting towards A. Jax comes away from middle later. We'll join them back on this A execute. Nexus the only man not here. He might go back to spawn to throw some smokes, or just regroup with his team. Seems to be the game plan. Justice is spotting, he's got the info, and he doesn't want to take a fight from that position, not with the amount of Heroic players that are, or it's G2 players that are moving up. So, re-smoke down, teammates moving in onto the site. We have a bit of a rotate here from Heroic, 4 on A, with a flank available as well. Tessez waiting behind the smoke. Hunter is inside of it, and that fade could favor him, but the gun certainly won't. Nico could put a stop to all of this before it even starts. There's one. Oh, Nico's second kill does come through. The trade is in, and even if G2 back up now, Heroic are going to beat them to that B bomb site, so they may as well just commit with what they got, but what they got is not a lot. Tessez drops Hunter, and it leaves it on 2.
Oh, and Borub's just seen their pushing up, so now the rest of Heroic tuck themselves in, try and peek as a pack. And boy, does that work out for Heroic. They managed to keep Borup and Cadian alive at the end of the round, and the first on the board now for the Heroic squad. That was an attempt at running the bonus round from G2, so they're still coming in with a reinvestment now. it is going to feature this AWP on Kenny. Oh, there we go. We get to see it almost immediately. Tess says, sorry for that one, old friend, but he burns to death. Over at short, now Stown waiting at sandbags. No one accounts for it. No one checks it, but he pulls the trigger right away. And Molly will come through on the back of it. Stown, I don't think they're wondering where you are here. I think they kind of know. Stown, not exactly a hide-and-seek champion.
It's a great rotate, though, from G2. They leave players here to actually distract and to keep Stown in a fight. And even though Stown gets away with that wallbang, where's the bomb? It's already in B. So is Amanek. He's in CT spawn, for crying out loud. There's nowhere you can go if you're heroic. I feel like Stown definitely could have, you know, he wanted to get a value out of that position. He wanted to get a kill while he was still there and knew they could molly it. But after 3 players from Heroic dying in the same position on ramp, I don't think G2 would have expected Stown. And so if he stayed alive there and just let them pass, obviously there's a chance one of them checks him, but as long as he's looking the right way, he could have definitely gotten multiple kills off that position and, you know, won the round for Heroic. But really, he gets one, Heroic, G2 see him and they go, nah, we want nothing to do with that. Both CTs are going to be here. Let's just go B. We've already cleaned it. And Amanek, he has pushed even further looking for these exits. He won't find them, but he will take a 3rd round for G2 just off of his positioning alone. It's a 3-1 lead. This is a good T-side start. We know G2 are an excellent T-sided Vertigo team. Yesterday, they had a bit of a rough start to the game, and they didn't really show too much of a T-side against North. And I felt that was underwhelming. I felt like they could do more. So right now, we're seeing more, and that bodes well for G2 in this series. Already a map down, but 3-1 up in the second, and control over the economy with an AWP as well.
Heroic, more than willing to fight here at ramp. They're toying around with the idea of pushing up on short side, and they look to do that now. If they go pushing at short A, they might get the info that there's only one man here in the form of Hunter. The rest of G2, they're spread out across the map here at mid, and now coming into lower A, Hunter actually swings out short. He caught a timing in between the peaks to find his way up there. They thought it was clear, and he was able to delete Cadian as a result. Now the rest of Heroic, kind of curious once again as to what Ramp has in store. Nico's going to get the info that Kenny's here, and he hears a bout of utility getting thrown around as well. So the info is here for Heroic, and you'll already see across the map players just peeling back from their positions, trying to get into this ace site, but they might not be needed. Nico is on for the ace. He's got 4. Nexa, will he hand it over? Will he give up the goods? Nico, not hunting for it, but I kind of want him to be, and he's not going to get the ace. It does get denied. Nexa's not ready to give him the satisfaction, but a great round from Nico nonetheless.
Yeah, great shot from Nico and Kenny there as well. The quick 2-bullet tap, removing the AWP, and 4, well, certainly not the ace, but it will do for Heroic. They'll take what they can get as they take control of G2's money. Hunter is the highest rated Vertigo player in the top 50 over the last 12 months. Yeah, I mean, definitely Vertigo gang. G2 have been part of that ever since its creation. But that's cool, Hunter. I mean, arguably, you know, the best player on G2, at least maybe one of the more consistent fragging powers inside of this team, you could say. So for G2's most commonly played map, or second most commonly played map, it's not really a surprise. He is very talented. 3-2 though, and an eco for G2 is going to be Heroic. Likely leveling out the board here with a 3rd round. They are armed well, and G2 not quite the pretty picture. Util and pistols, not even Kevlar behind it, as Stown and Borup take early kills towards B. Aggressive setups for the CT side. We haven't really seen the, you know, the full idea, the full picture of what that bottom B area can be when CTs take it and use that control. Already, it's very easy to run solo B in this map because those rotates off mid are so fast, but yeah, you do occasionally see teams smoking off that bottom B entrance and just being able to take so much control away from their enemies. Amanek He's not going to throw this out the map. He's going to look for kills, and I'm all for it. Whatever damage he can get in this round is going to have long-term consequence for Heroic, but he's working A, and little does he know, no one's here. They're playing the bomb.
Yeah, he's given himself a path into CT, but he is going to go through this smoke. I actually like this idea from Amanek. That is the last thing that Heroic are going to expect. That's his second kill in the round now. And he's repositioning again. He's really trying to just be like a ghost. You know, he pops up, he disappears, he'll come back, and he'll put the fright in you somewhere else. There is a man in CT. It's down on the other side, and he's ready and waiting. He's going to solidify the round for Heroic. 3 on the board now, getting this one tied up nice and early. Reinvestment coming through from G2. Now, in this North game yesterday, right, Hugo, we saw G2 attempt these A plays a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
Especially in these rifle rounds, and kind of to mixed bag results. Now, one thing I will say is that Heroic have already shown that this A bomb site is not one to be trifled with. G2, they're going back to a classic. It's the A play. We've seen this one before. Let's see if they can accomplish what they're hoping with it. It's a fast play up through the ramp.
Wow.
And it is just a slaughter. G2 get cut down. Hunter delivers a double, but that is it. And okay, right, G2, we've humored the ramp plays. We're enjoying them. We like what you have to offer there. But I would love to see just what they have planned for elsewhere on the map, because that was just a stellar flash from Heroic to set them up for the ramp peak, and they triple peak into it, man. They had 4 players at the A site early on. Like, they are more than aware as to what G2 like to do on this map.
And that's why I'd love to see G2 go for one of these A fakes, but with a B take in mind, right? We've seen them do that, and they're very good at deciding in the mid round, okay, guys, let's go B. Let's get out of here. We take an A, we push them back, let's rotate silently. They're very good at that, but I'd love to see G2 set up that out the gate, right? 2 bottom B with a bomb, work A with 3, you know, cause enough distraction. You don't have to rush A like they did in that round. You just have to cause Heroic to rotate enough off of B that you can take the site.
Not to mention that I think Nexa is probably one of the best B site anchors on Vertigo right now. Yeah. And he's right at home on this bomb site, man. He loves it. We spoke to him in interviews and he's telling us how much he likes it. I would love to see him just entrusted with the duty of finding these opening kills at this B side of the map. Beauty of it is, he could be the man to make that decision as well.
Sure. No one can stop him. The in-game leader and the fragging power behind it. Nexa has them both, the aim and the brain. But they don't have the game. That's not locked in here for G2. They are down in this one right now. A couple of anti-ecos for Heroic locked in after a fast A approach from G2. And now we have the guns back. This is the moment of truth. This is the big question. A tactical pause for G2 as they look to rip another round off of Heroic.
Yeah, I think at a bare minimum, right, even if you're not toying with rotations, you need to get it out of Heroic's head that they can just keep stacking the majority at this A site, right? I think that one of the things we need to see G2 do is just spread out and look to, you know, even if you get like a kill in mid and you're not actively trying to take mid on the back of it, right? Just to kind of serve as a reminder to the Danes that they can't be sticking 4 players out of spawn into the A site.
They're going A, Harry.
Whenever they do that, of course they're winning the round. You're running into a 5-on-4, but it's back to A for G2. They send Hunter up. However, this time you'll note the bomb is not in tow, and they've thrown this short smoke. It's really not uncommon to see these fake plays hinge around this smoke. It denies early vision at short. It gives you a foothold. Now over here at B, Borup actually has gone aggressive and pushes down into B main, but he's decided against it.
Yeah, G2 have actually done exactly what I wanted them to do, which was set up 2 outside of B with a bomb, wait, play passive, play like you're not in this position. Heroic might push, Borup hasn't, and G2 are going to make loads of noise on A because Heroic haven't taken an aggressive angle towards the A site. They don't have the info. Their most pushed up player is Tess's watching short from safe. So G2, they're going to flash into B loud and proud about it, taking control. So maybe it's the bomb going back towards A. Maybe it's the B fake after all. We'll see where G2 go with this one. They show control towards the bottom of B. They force actually 2 rotations away from Heroic. Notice the A site has been left open apart from Tess's with that re-smoke. Hunter loves playing inside of it though, and he might try and cheese his way in. Tess's alone. Ollie is going to cut him off, but they're already up on the site, and he didn't realize Jax was pushed, and he finds that kill. G2, a nice little B fake. It forced such a rotation. They've been on A every round. Heroic thought surely this is the time they change, and and even just taking the bottom of B, not getting a kill, not showing presence, not doing anything more, force Heroic out of the site and into play retake. Right now, another man down from Kenny's Orb, and that's going to make things even harder.
Oh, Amanek spots them running away. He hears these rotations and he can tell the rest of G2, guys, the battle is already won. I'm going to start to hunt down some of these weapons. And there is a world in which maybe he could take one of these guns away. With Cadian and Stown having this crossfire set up, he decides to rather keep their money in good standing. And G2 are going to survive with 5 as they secure this 4th round on the board. A nice adjustment there from G2. They slow it right down early on. They don't give away that opening pick. They deny much info the way of Heroic, and you see them just reap the reward of it immediately in this round here and now. They steer away from these fast, aggressive ramp fights, the ones that Heroic were pretty happy that they were taking to begin with. And a double AWP investment now over here on this CT side. This kind of screams to me that there's going to be an aggressive peak with one of these AWPs, and we're already seeing that now.
Just look at the setup on A. I mean, alone they've got 3 players here, and they're not even necessarily fighting that deep because of the smoke. So Cadian's on the sandbags of the AWP looking for a pick above the railing. Got Nico throwing utility. Tessa's watching short, but he can back off at any point and play that rotation. The rotation that Heroic may require in this round. G2 are taking middle. Stown has his second AWP here. Nice little Molotov on the boost as well. G2 leaving no stone unturned in this round, and now they can boost up themselves if they want. Stown's watching for it. Needs to pick a position though. Smoke is going to come down towards the elevator side. Back towards his side as well. Nowhere is safe. Stown has to give it up. G2 now own middle, but Nico's pushed the smoke and he's mowed down 2. Great spray. Nico with a 3rd, dropping Kenny's AWP, and that is a great way of dealing with a mid-take from G2. They may have looked good in that position, but Nico looks better. Tessa should be checked, and he will be, but the trade is imminent. Cadian pushed up on the ramp, can afford to fall back, leaving Nexus in a clutch that seems far, far too hard.
Yeah, as good as he's looked, right? As nice as Next has been to watch in this server, surely this 1v4 is asking too much of him. With only 25 seconds left as well. He's gone all quiet at ramp. He's slowed right down. That molly has pretty much solidified it, and the kill certainly will. It's 2 for Cadian, 3 for Nico, and a 6th round on the board for Heroic. Man, I'm getting the impression that Nico loves a bit of vertigo, doesn't he? He's looking really good. He's learned all these little grimy positions. We saw him at short with that really nice 4K almost ace a few rounds ago. This time in mid, pushing the smokes. G2 calling in a tactical pause.
Yeah, don't blame him after that one. Very clean round.
We all remember that little one tap from Amanek. It was a nice shot in fair play to Amanek there. Just barrels through the ramp smoke and deals with Tessez. But yeah, there's a lesson.
It's nice for Heroic to have a bit come back their way, right? Like, they were very good at you know, doing that to G2 in the first map. Oh, sorry, I flipped that sentence the other way around. It's nice to see Heroic get punished. Yeah, I mean, we'll move past it, Harry. You know, words are hard sometimes, and we've said quite a few here. Oh dear, AWP trade to start the round. That's not so common, 1 for 1. Stown drops next, but it was all a bait for Kenny to get that trade, and now it's down to Cadian with the main AWP. A good trade early for Heroic, ridding Nexa of the round. He can, of course, in-game lead here in this essentially spectator position, but it's never the same when you're not in the server, and he's not alive in it. Cadian's peeled over towards mid. A has been left mainly untouched, apart from Tess's pivoting in the site. That bomb going bottom B right now. Borup's clearing mid, and if he gets this clear and he wants to make an audacious play, this is one of the best mid-round plays you can make in Vertigo. G2, more often than not, I mean, anyone is going to leave mid eventually when they go for an execute, unless they're planning on sending in a lurk. So if Borup can walk down ladder, he can flank B or A, but he doesn't know which site it is, and that's because the site is empty. G2 have walked into B, and Heroic don't have a single defensive player. They're playing flanks. They're playing for retakes. The molly will slow the bomb plant down, but it still gets planted, and now G2 are watching the flank. They know because Heroic have 4 alive, they can come from anywhere and everywhere. So yeah, it's a great round for G2, but I've got to say, Heroic have massively dropped the ball by playing retake on B in a 4-on-4. That just seems so unnecessary. And I don't even know if they're going to go for this. It's taking some serious time to even set up. That bomb's half ticked. Are they just getting exits here? Yeah, I don't know why Heroic left B. Like, they had 3 in middle, you know, and they didn't even get any information. They didn't push anything of value. So, while they get this awesome flank from Borup and Nico, you only need 1 player there. Even if you had 2, there's still 2 A players that left B open. So, yeah, that's a very weird round for Heroic. Maybe information going their way that we don't know and that they perceived wrong. Also, that trade with the AWP on B early, maybe they gamble off of that and go, well, they're not going to come back to B. Unfortunately for them, they do. Heroic dropping that round. It's back and forth here in this first half. But G2 at least putting T rounds on the board, and that's what we wanted here today.
Oh, hang on.
On a slow T side.
I'm liking it, man. G2, it feels like they got a little taste of what other sites, other areas of the map have to offer, and they're keen to go exploring. Now, not everywhere is full of sunshine and rainbows here on Vertigo. Mid is actually a bit of a bloodbath. Stown coming out on top, and G2 sent packing away from this position. I say that, to be fair, hang on, what's going on here at ramp? This is messy. Oh dear, Hunter. He pushes past the smoke. He hides in the ramp smoke, catches a player pushed aggressive in Tessez, deals with Nico on the mid rotate, finds Cadian, who wasn't like considering that someone had pushed up the ramp so far. And Hunter, he has just made this whole round doable on the back of hiding in that ramp smoke. This should not have been a G2 round, and now it seems impossible to assume it's going to go any other way. The bomb's going down in B. Stown is pincered between either site. He is going to realize now, hang on, Hunter's rotating through ramp, and Kenny, okay, he's back at ramp as well. Stown now knows that Hunter's on this ramp rotation. He's already going to be posted up and considering it, but it's Kenny that's causing problems here. Kenny and Hunter are both in the same place. They're both at the bottom of this B ramp. The bomb is out in the open for them. Stown is low. He needs the ace to pick this round up. They start to spam the bomb. He taps it, draws a couple of gunshots, and it's going to be Kenny to solidify the round. So G2 6th on the board. They played that post plant very, very well. At first, I was worried about the Hunter rotate down ramp, and then I realized Kenny had done all the right things in that B site, right, to line up with it. Falls back into ramp, knows that Stown is going to have to take a lot of time clearing out those positions. Him and Hunter are together, and that round basically becomes unlosable there for G2.
Right there is why Hunter's the best rated Vertigo player at all, of all time right now. I say of all time, of course this map's only been in for a year or so, but yeah, what a sick round. Pops up behind the sandbags, kills 2, wins the round off the back of it. Nico even gives him a fight on A, which lets G2 take that control of the site. So yeah, very good round for Hunter. G2 keeping up appearances, back-to-back rounds here. They're going to break the money of Heroic if they find just one more. Heroic have the AWP though. KD is looking deep down the ramp. He sees nothing, and that frees up a rotation. Heroic move 2 away. Oh no, this couldn't get worse though. Tessa's luckily is going to have the info ahead of time, but G2 have a full setup clearing this position. There's no way they leave this unchecked. They've been looking at it every single time. Here they come, Hunter with the clear, and Tessa's doesn't even get to play the round. Now G2 faster approach towards A. The AWP has come back into the site, but Heroic, one by one, they're losing to Hunter. He is just warmed up. He has found so much confidence off of that previous round, and he's not letting Heroic get away with anything. 2 kills into the site. Jax needs to be very careful on the edge. Does trade Stown going through the smoke. Borup push CT as well. This is just a mess.
Yeah, and I don't know if they know that Jax is on that kind of little finicky boost that lets you see into CT from the railing, and he has gotten down since then. They almost exposed themselves to him as they ran by the site. Heroic looking like they're going to try and save once again, maybe searching for some exit kills, but there's not really much riding on getting those picked up here if you are Heroic. This A site starting to look a lot more G2. And that's good, right? It's nice to know that, like, at the end of the day, this is how I guess it's normally meant to go for the G2 squad at A, right? And
yeah, they've approached it very differently, right? Like, you know, it's all about keeping things fresh, right? You just don't want to rush it the same way and the same paths and with the same util every time, because Heroic are just going to know how to deal with it and set up well. So G2 have just been leaving it open, letting Heroic get comfortable or clear it, right? And I say that like with a quote marks because Heroic clear it, but G2 are just playing around the corner waiting for Heroic to rotate off. They hear those A footsteps, they hear the A players go mid as you're going to run there as a CT, and G2 just walk up A. So yeah, it's a good way of approaching it. They wait for Heroic to discount the position. Right now it's a fake. Full util throw by Hunter, runs right out of the site. They're going to go mid quickly. There's no way Heroic are ready for this. They had a 4-man A setup, no one in B. Stound's been pushed out of the spawn. I mean, Heroic can't even get control here. This is an excellent round for G2, really playing with their food. And Kenny has 2, going in for the third. The AWP trays, but it won't get much further as Amanek gets a double with a max 10, leaving Nico alone. Nice kill off the P250, but good luck getting it out of this round alive. Amanek will not let him. Saves the AWP, gets 3, and puts G2 on an 8-round T side. I don't think this one's stopping either. Heroic have 1 buy round to make it so.
I think we might get a ramp fight here between Cadian and maybe Kenny, maybe someone else. You know, with how Hunter's been playing, could just as easily be him in the firing line. Cadian actually was running for that early pick and decides against it. Sounds tried to go aggressive at the B side, but there's 2 players holding.
With the bomb.
See, this is how I love to see teams approach Vertigo, because if you do try and force that B fight and you lose a man, well, imagine now how it feels to be Heroic. You rotate an extra player into B, but Borup is responsible for so much, and none of these shots are connecting. This B site, man, it belongs to G2. Jax is tired of all this waiting around. Well, now, actually, he's got to wait around. But luckily enough, it's not for long. Amanek rounds it out, and it's a 9-6 half for G2. They stumble back to their feet. Can the French squad continue? Or are Heroic going to bounce back? You're going to have to join us after a break to find out, so don't go anywhere. Well, if you like G2, if you like Heroic, and maybe, third and finally, maybe you like Vertigo, boy, are you in the right place. This must be a fantastic day if you happen to like all 3 of those things, because man, have we had a great first half of play. here in the second map of this series. Heroic now over on the T side, and they're going to look to get this one started off with a mid play. Jax has got the info. That's forced a rotation round from Nexter and the rest of the gang.
Ooh.
And mid has been picked apart. My words. Down and Nico left in a 2-on-5. But if you've blinked, you might have missed this round. What can these two do?
Oh, I can see ahead. Oh, Kenny's going to jump. Can't quite get a spot. Can't quite get an angle. Down. It's not the gun for accuracy, but he will nail Kenny S to the wall. That bomb is still the object of his desires, but right behind him is Hunter from the backline, getting a kill and leaving Nico in a clutch he cannot contain. Next is going to find him, and G2, that's 10 rounds, that's double dig, and that is the pistol in the second half. That should push them over the line here. Heroic are going to have to likely just eco this round if they want guns soon, because forcing here would just dig them deeper in that hole. Unless they have some big strategy behind their force buy here, it shouldn't happen, and it won't. A single flashbang for Cadian and a PT-50 for Stown means that Heroic just want to play it fast and together. Or slow and together, that works too.
Here we go. This is it. Hunter, this is the moment. Oh. There we go. It's actually Amanek's moment.
Woo!
I thought he was going to chase it down. That would have been cool. Amanek chasing after the cone, catches it midair.
Drops his gun in the process.
I wish you could do that. I wish you could throw guns over the side, catch up to them if you like get in the right position, you know.
I'm sure
like
you could, but they probably move faster than you.
I know, man. That's the problem.
Don't know. I've never
slow
thrown,
down guns.
Yeah, I've never thrown a gun or a body off of a 50-story building, but maybe we'll have to do some field tests. We'll see. Fast play here for Heroic. They do net the kill onto Nexter. It comes at a cost, though. Kenny's drops down. This B split is very quick, and Heroic have beaten G2 to it. Stacked on the A site for the first rifle round, expecting a standard default from Heroic. They couldn't be further from the truth, but they could still be on the case. Kenny with 3 is making this retake happen.
Ooh, Cadian spots a man up on construction. Smoke goes down, and Cadian hiding behind it. Flashes in. Ooh, dear. Cadian's getting spammed away, and that will be him put in the ground. Nico swings at the very, very end, and he is able to trade 1 for 1, but he needed to go 1 for 2.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that would just be none for 2, because he would have won the round if he was able to get them both. G2, 12 now on the board, recovering, stumbling back to their feet. A bomb plant at least leaves the option to buy open for Heroic. However, if they're going to make that decision, it is going to be lacking in a lot of ways.
Oh, Kenny, the king. No need for the AWP. He just finds 3 on the rifle retake there for G2, and great headshots from him. He's got the AWP now, finally. He's going to throw that ramp smoke down as Heroic come back in with guns. They have bought around this buy with a bomb plant in the last, but look at what that's left them with. 4 smokes, full stop. That's it. That's the only utility here for Heroic. So they are in a bit of a problematic position, and a nice shot from Jax is swiftly returned by Stown. Bit of damage onto the way of Heroic, though, in this round, is leaving G2 somewhat with the advantage in terms of health. But for how much longer? Boost up does get spotted off of the jump. Kenny should be ready, and he will now just hold it safe. Amanek going to fall back. He doesn't need to re-peek. He knows they're watching him. And he gets that confirmation again. How many more times do you need it, Amanek? Push in mid, gets punished. Stown with 1. He's going to go in for a little bit more, and Stown's done it. Nice entry from Heroic. He's left Amanek alone. He can't win a fight either. Tries to trade Kenny, and Heroic, a very, very good round for them in terms of fights. Just headshots all across the board. That's what they needed, right? They had nothing in that round. They had no utility, so they needed to win gunfights. And some very clean kills from Heroic will put them in this game, put them on this T side. Can they stay there, though? That's the question. 1 round, it does break the money of G2, but we've seen ecos be won, and this is a bit more than an eco for the French.
Ooh, Hunter tagged early on. He's going to look to get out of there. He doesn't want to hang around now. Mid-control here, looking to be the aim of the game for Heroic. Smoke goes down. Kenny, wonderful little dink on the back of it, and Borup actually kills Cadian there. Now, Kenny wasn't ever peeking during that fight, so that was just a straight up TK.
Ooh.
Oh dear, Borup. This round is going to elude Heroic. It was looking good. They get out middle. The smokes are great. And it all kind of falls apart. Now, Borup hasn't been having the best of times on this map. That TK in that round there certainly hasn't helped out.
Yeah, I mean, the individuals are looking really good on this map for G2. Heroic, they have 3 low players on G2 side by the end of things. 3 10 HP players, and that's because Heroic just whipping shots, man, doing damage, not converting kills. Can't afford to happen versus a very warm G2 in a map that they are a big fan of. Need more than individuals to win this one, and Heroic right now they're down. Not quite out, but 3 rounds away from that very point. 3 rounds away from Mirage. Another map where for G2, pretty good win record, pretty good, you know, streak on it. But Heroic never played it in an official, so again, kind of hitting the unknown in that map. But definitely more of a standard map than Vertigo. You would know what to expect if you're G2. The standards, the defaults, the go-tos. So less surprises for Heroic in the third, and that's if we get there, which is looking likely right now. G2 surely not going to drop the ball at 13-7.
Well, that there is a good start for Heroic to build upon. Nico catching Amanek over the top of that smoke at ramp. This bomb is here, but I'm not sure if it's going to stick around. Tesses removing another, brought down very, very low and tries to extend into that peak. Now, Cadian is nearby with the object of trading the name of his game. He's served his purpose. Nexa arriving at A on rotation. This is all 5 players, finding all 5 of these fights here for G2, at least briefly, but now the pullback comes in from Heroic. They leave A. There is Stown as well. If we could take a look at him, he's currently holding on to this mid area. And so he should be the man to deal with Nexa. He's actually waiting for this this cross from Elevator. So there was like a timing where Nexa had a 1v2 at the site. Luckily enough, Nico holds his ground. And so 8 now on the board for Heroic. Attack pause called through. The money isn't there for G2 in this round. And Heroic, they know that if they want to come back into this... Oh, Borup has been involved in only 18 kills or deaths with G2. So he killed Cadian just to fight something.
Take what you can get, I guess. Probably not the intention.
Look, man, I mean, I don't know. We don't know, right? Like, Borup maybe just wanted to, and maybe like that's something that Cadian offers the team. If they're ever feeling like they've kind of cooled off and they're not warmed up. Guys, I'm low, just take a nice flick on me.
Well, right now, Heroic should focus on shooting their enemies, not their teammates, because this comeback is realistic. It's not won yet, though. Broken money in this round has put Heroic in a very good position. Jax with the Deagle does get some wallbang damage, but Borup is on the other side, and he's waiting as well. Cadian's close. Heroic are expecting a bit of a mid-push, but it won't get given to them. Hunter, tagged on the A side of things, is going to move back, avoiding Tesses. There's the flash. Jax is going to hang around. Oh dear, not forever though. If you want to live, you've got to move, because Heroic have 4 players out in mid right now. Jax reload, gives away his position. He gets swung, does survive. Kenny, this is not the gun for a long-range fight. He's going to try and get closer behind the boxes. The flash is so good though. Still G2 yet to be seen, and Kenny pops out with a kill. That's worth it. It's caused enough chaos, but can G2 do anything with that? Good flashes continue here from Heroic. Cadian sets up Nico for a double, and through the smoke, G2 go into their own death. Heroic find 9. 4 from Nico in that round. They're catching up, but they haven't done it yet.
I think it is getting scary though, like, Kenny especially is looking so good right now, like so warmed up. You think about coming into this CT side, he got that 3K hold at the B site. A few rounds prior, he landed like a ridiculous double flick into mid. He's looking warmed up, and we wanted to have a few more players, a few more individuals there for the G2 side, and that's very much started to become apparent here for Heroic. Oh dear. Blows exchange through the smoke. It's kept in, I was going to say a 4-on-4, but that's only for a moment. Jax has taken it back into the mantle of G2. And so now a man down. Heroic, they have recuperated. It's down, finding a nice little opener into mid, onto Mr. Kenny S. And now this B site maybe feels like a tantalizing prospect. They just get the info that 2 players were rotating over. Nico's making noise, but this bomb is still back at A ramp. Not going to be. This isn't where this is looking to end up. Tessez, first man in, also the man with the bomb on his back. He's going to have a lot to do here at the A site. Luckily enough for him, no one from G2 is here to respond. I think he's waiting for Nico to move into position, and that's a real shame because also Amanek is flanking all the way through mid, and Jax is now rotating in from B. They've left Amanek to clear this B ramp. He's going to get the info it's clear. Jax now knows it's the A site play, and he taps Nico out of the round. Tessez in a 1v2 to keep the dream alive for Heroic.
Does he read the flank? He's had a rough game here, 9-17, but this would be a big round to potentially even take this series for Heroic. They've got a kill, and now Tess is in a clutch, in a one-on-one, 2 to his name. Same story for Jax, moving on to the bomb. Tessus goes wide, and Jax isn't ready for it. I love that from Tessus. He hears the footsteps. He knows he can beat Jax to the fight, and Jax was not expecting a wide T on the ramp. 10 rounds for Heroic. They survive, they stall, they save this map, but not the series, not yet. G2 still have some fight left in them. They only need 3 rounds to take us to Mirage, but this one will not be going their way. It's a full eco. Heroic's chance to make some money, make some moolah, and get 11. This T side is warming up.
Well, Hunter, I hope you had fun playing this round because that's pretty much it over for you, my friend. He's going to back off with this CZ. Double naded down to 9 points of health. Sorry, 5 points of health. Reading numbers just really isn't my strong point for anyone tuning into the broadcast.
What's the score?
As we can see, it is 13 to 100 right now. Heroic with quite the lead. Never been done before.
Yeah, they just keep playing, just to rub salt in the wound, just because they can, and they won't want to. But look at the push, G2 bringing the heat. Oh, it's messy. This could easily fall apart for Heroic, but they do get the kills required. Hunter trading again on 5 health. He's now all that stands, and he will go down, getting a kill at least, but it's only an eco, and Heroic won't lose to it. Those are rifles, though. That could have been a very different story. 13-11. G2 with a buy. Orb. It's available if Jax wants to buy Kev Orb and throw it over. We'll leave him with no utility, which is never fun. But G2, before they buy, they're going to call in one of their last pauses just to figure things out. King Legalot. That's actually great. That's so good. Oh. So I guess 11 assists back in the previous map, considering he's on 15 right now. That's oof. Never fun. But right now, Heroic, they are doing their best to make this game as unenjoyable as possible for G2, but G2 don't want to lose this one. Not here, not now, not on the CT side of Vertigo. Just got to take it over the line. Might be about time to play retake, right? That's when you start losing rounds, that's when teams start playing retake, but they don't have a kit in this one. They had money for it. Jack still has $600, Harry. This is exactly what G2 did yesterday. It costed them the series. Will it cost them again?
Yeah, we're going to have to see, because if that happens twice now, in 2 different series, I don't know what to believe. Kenny's been naded down very, very low in mid, but he's playing this bait and switch, this trade setup with Jax. The flashes go in. They've heard the AWP chime out. They're hoping that the attention is fixated on that AWP, but that's not the case. Jax falls. And now a man advantage taken for Heroic. Sat in a 5-on-4. Kenny already brought down low, and he's staring into mid. Heroic, they've moved away. They've grouped up over here at the A ramp. G2 with a lot of emphasis on mid right now. Some noise is being made by Cadian and co as they move into position. So we are going to see G2 start to lean some players back in towards this A site. But it's only a double hold. And in a lot of these rounds where we've seen G2 pick it up, it's been on the back of like Amanek and Hunter here at this A site with support from the others going on a tear. Well, this time they're going to push up towards short. They've got to get it done between the 2 of them. can spot this first man, but they're surely not ready for Hunter.
Ooh.
And the continued aggression comes on in. Hunter could end this whole round right here, right now, with the flank through ramp. He's biding his time, takes out Nico, continues to come on in. Now, this round's all over the place. There's players in mid still for Heroic, and oh, well, hope you weren't looking forward to G2 reaching 14 because it's been stripped away. Kenny left in the 1v3. They are everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't even know where Heroic are, and I have the mini-map. So Kenny, how on earth is he going to get out of this with the AWP?
After Heroic took that first kill in mid, Stown just tucked in the corner behind the boxes and didn't move. He waited for Heroic to take A and then came in late. He didn't even try and beat the B players, right? Mid was open the entire time. He could have walked past B, walked past the double setup and killed the A players. Instead, he just waits, he waits, and as soon as the bomb gets planted, he starts moving through middle and just killing those rotations. Great work from Stown. He gets to, he also stops the save of the AWP, and that would have been the only weapon G2 have in this round. So that's a big exit kill from Stown. And Hunter, he gets dealt with as well after getting a massive kill on the flank also. So good work from Heroic. I like the A execute after a mid take there, but they still have 4 more to find. G2, they can win these ecos, and right now I think they're probably banking on it. They're hoping, because right now the rifle rounds are not going their way. Close position for Nexa. Could just get wallbanged out of the round if Heroic want to give away their position. That's the gamble, though. That's the game. Nico gonna pull away from B silently, though. G2 still with 2 players here. Hunter's spotting A ramp from a distance. That's where the bomb is coming late. Jax has been grenaded in middle. That's a nice little pop nade over the walls. Down trying to keep these players here. He's done that at least. That means A is pretty open for the taking, with the exception of just Hunter. And Heroic have actually gone back to B to put on some pressure. They won't be committing here, but if they get a kill, that will certainly do a good job of forcing rotations the wrong way.
Man, Nico has a molly. I would love to see a molly close wood just for the sake of it. And there is a man there. It's a pretty common spot to play, but they've completely abandoned B. They don't want to hang around. You bang on, Hugo. It was that fake now with an A play looking to be the end result. Hunter getting flashed in, and he's got to do a lot with this Deagle. Takes one away, and he is running out of there, at least for the time being. He's going to reposition it short. Amanek finds a kill onto Stout in mid. This is where it starts to get scary, because Nico is just uncovered. But they've come in on this flank, and now they know it's the A play. At this point, you know you're walking into a stack, so you're very, very anxious here. If you're Heroic, you are checking everything. You are panicking, and there is 15 seconds left. You've got to be cooler than ever. And Amanek aim punched into the sky. Jack is going to try to deny the bomb, but he's not able to do it. Nico gets him through the smoke. Nexa down to a 1v3 to keep this one in the advantage of G2. Heroic about to tie it up at 13 all, and Nexa, what can he deliver with this Deagle? He was head and shoulders the top performer back on Nuke, but this 1v3 is surely asking too much of him. They double peek from ramp, they bid him farewell, and Heroic 13 all, looking to get this series done in 2.
What is happening? This is 13-7, Harry. G2 had this map almost locked in, and Heroic have pieced together an incredibly good T-side, a monstrous half. It's not done yet. They are certainly not out of the woods or over the line, but they have got a great chance of taking a 2-0 victory, taking an upset to G2. And as we mentioned, Harry, in the pre-game, what that would leave G2 is, inside of this group, a loss to North, a loss to Heroic, and with their only game left versus Astralis, that's, I mean, well, that'd be G2 2-0'd out of this group. That'd be them done and dusted. So, dear, oh dear. It's not the G2 that we wanted here after a playoff run in the road to Rio. Heroic, good grenades, better guns, 13 rounds. It's all here. It's all to play for. G2, though, this is the best buy we've seen in a while. They've actually got the kit for a change. They can play retake now. Kenny with armor behind his AWP. Where did G2 go?
Yeah, it's not going to be the ramp peak from Kenny. Instead, that gets entrusted onto Hunter, and he has already been naded out of the ramp. And these nades have been so good at stopping Hunter's aggression. And I think, really, that was like one of the big things that was winning G2 a lot of these rounds, was the fact that Hunter was allowed to go out, duel at ramp, take these advantages. That just hasn't happened anymore. And every time he's tried to come in with these ramp peaks, he has been put down to like 5 to 30 HP, it feels like, on the back of these nades. This is like a great way of taking map control from Heroic. They look, G2, they were trying to peek ramp at the beginning of this round. Well, now look where they've ended up. Ooh. They are all forced back into the site. Hunter is playing this bait and switch with Kenny. Kenny's going to try go wide here with the AWP. If he gets the first contact at ramp there, he wins it. But if the peek came from the cinder blocks, it's a little bit more scary. Kenny does wallbang Tessez as well. So a man advantage here for G2. They were able to pick this up a few rounds ago and they didn't find the conversion. This time they need to if they want to take us to our third and final map.
It's a big question if Heroic are actually going to commit here. Stound's going back and he's being loud about it, so he gets heard by Amanek. He knows that mid lurk is coming back to join the ramp here. Heroic fully committed. Hunter in such a good position. He's low, and so that makes this spot so good. Heroic might not check it, and all he needs is one kill from this spot. If he just pops out at the right time, he can win this round, but it looks already locked in. Hunter with a mow down. He finds both, and G2 just deal with the A play like it's nothing. Great work from Hunter and Kenny S. This might all be in vain for Heroic. A 13-7 comeback. 6 rounds in a row for Heroic, and they fall at the final hurdle. It's not done yet, though. Only 14 for G2. They haven't even locked in OT yet. And Heroic, you know they got money, but that money will come to a close if they can't convert this round or at least get a bomb plant at worst case scenario. So Heroic, pressure really is on. This is going to be the big round now. You see those grenades going into middle and up towards the A site being lined up right now. You know Hunter's going to be taking fight, so that is a very safe way of forcing damage without risking your own life. Jack's flashed out in mid, has to molly his retreat, and that's given room to Heroic. Mid has been a key of their T side, whether that been taking it in fast plays up construction to B, or Stound coming in on these mid wraps to flank A executes. It's worked out wonderfully for Heroic, so no surprise to see them going back to this position here in a crucial round for the game.
Oh, Kenny's molly falls a little late and a missed shot, uncharacteristically so. Heroic, they're close. Kenny given another opportunity, but he's not going to be given many more. Still a 5-on-5 as these awkward fights have struggled to go in favor of G2, but Kenny comes in. Hunter has the crossfire set up. And all the pieces of the puzzle getting removed here for Heroic. Cadian left up in a 1v5 to try and keep this one going. 45 seconds left on the clock, and Cadian surely not going to even attempt this one. He backs away. It's 15 on the board for G2. Map point. Just one away from taking us the distance now. Let's not forget, this was 13-7 in favor of G2. Heroic, they somehow tied it up at 13 all, only to have it slip away from them in the final couple of rounds. Plus as well, something that's been great from G2 is that Hunter and Kenny, between the two of them, they both kind of have stopped going for these hyper-aggressive aggro peaks out of spawn. Yeah. Kenny was doing it in mid, Hunter was doing it at ramp. And in that round, he was still taking some early ramp fights, but they both changed how they're going about it. They're not getting hit by the utility. And then they set up and they play together there once they realize it's the mid take. They have that really nice crossfire between elevators and the CT room. So great stuff from G2 to get us here. Mirage will be that third and final map if we go the distance. And at this point in time, it's certainly looking like it.
I think Heroic needs to change it up, right? They need to get away from A, go into one of those B fakes that, or A fakes rather, with a B execute that has treated them so well. Getting shut out of mid in these last couple of rounds by the heavy setups of G2. And that's something G2 are very keen to do, right? Just like give up bomb sites or play 1-1 and have 3 in mid just floating. If Heroic bring the heat mid early, G2 will just default with 3 mid and then, you know, play reactively. If they see that it's not the majority of Heroic, they see the bombs going elsewhere, they send rotations. And because you're all in mid, those rotations are so quick. G2 with a nice read on the CT side. They've found 15. They've done the dirty. They just need to do one more to push us to Mirage. Amanek again fighting ramp. The smoke is down. Heroic can't see a thing. Nico, he's pushed up in a good position that G2 might not be ready for. He's going to go through the smoke. That's a great play. Nico with 2. They're not ready for the pace. He has been there every round off his spawn, and finally he's going to show its value. Going through their own smoke to find a double kill into this A site. Overtime is still a possibility here. Kenny is going to try and jump up on top of the boxes, look for kills. He's got the first. If he jumps here, they're watching him though. Next has found a second. This round could still fall apart for Heroic. They can't afford to lose it. This was a 5-on-3, now level-headed. Boost up towards CT. Bombs killed Nexa. Kenny with the trade. Nico in the site, and the bomb's been lost.
Oh dear, and it's fallen very far in harm's way. Nico has retrieved the bomb, but a 1v2 to navigate. This guy needs to drop 30 here if he wants to lock in this 14th round for Heroic. He's waiting for peaks. Nothing is getting offered up. He's going to stick the bomb plant here and now. Kenny raining out a shot, gives Nico a little bit of room to maneuver. But out from Elevator is Jax. He gets bested. Now down to the 1v1. Nico, this would be his 30th kill of the game, but Kenny steals it all away. And he steals the map with it. Shooting at the body. GG to G2 as they take Vertigo. They lock in the third map in this series. They weather the storm. And man, it goes from being 13-7 in favor of G2 to 13-13, all tied up. And then suddenly the G2 we wanted to see come alive. They take it. They get it done 16-13, Hugo.
That is absolutely mad. Like, credit to G2, of course. The fact that they can, like, fall off in that game and disappear, still call out a tactical pause and then recover with the 2-3 rounds in a row that we needed them to get, that is crucial. And it's going to set them up for a 3-map series. Mirage is where we end this game between G2 and Heroic. It's a very important one inside of Group A to see how things are going to go, so you don't want to miss it. Do join us after the break for the desk, and then that third map of Mirage.
Flashbang's affected. They have got through the smoke wall here, but Chris J, he is the final boss of the bomb site.
Now Spitty and Chris J to keep Mousesports alive.
Oh, Chris! He's found 3. It's down to a 2-on-2. Chris, can he close this with an ace? Oh my God!
Can they actually close this out? Boom, Chris.
Fantastic way to start, and no scopes on him himself. Absolutely saving Mousesports.
Hey, it's me, Lily from AT&T. I'm back, working from home, and here to help.
Hey Lily, I'm hearing a lot about 5G. Should I be getting excited?
Depends. Are you gonna want faster speeds?
I will.
More reliability?
Oh, also yes.
Better response times?
Definitely.
Are you gonna be making sourdough bread?
Oh, is that 5G related?
No, it's just like, why is everyone making sourdough now? But yes, you're gonna want 5G.
AT&T is building 5G on America's best network. Visit att.com to learn more.
Master Spring 2020. I'm Trace. Alongside of me, would be my banditos in Christine and in Sudan. Now, you two, what do you think about this game? And then maybe I just make this a little easier on all of us. Christine, what did you personally make about this game?
Well, I personally made about this game was Kenny S is insane. Whether he has an AWP in his hands or a rifle, he's going to make some magic happen across the board. And that's exactly what we saw here. He saved G2 in multiple occasions, but 2 rounds in particular, early on in the half with that M4A4, he just made some magic work towards that mid, towards that B bomb site. And even in this last round with that AWP, I thought, Heroic, they were certainly postured to make this actual comeback happen and close out the series 2-0, but G2, they have something to say about it.
Yeah, and let's look at it from that perspective with Bled. I want to hear your side of this. This could have been wrapped up. It could have been done. There was almost a bow on top of it. But now Heroic, with their backs against the wall?
Yeah, I felt like G2 had 13-7, the scoreline. And then I think you're very nice to put it there, Trace, that they decided to kind of almost throw that one away, allowing Heroic to get, I think, 7 rounds in a row or something, mental, tying things up 13-13. And then in the end, they're like, oh, guys, you can close this one out. Kenny S, of course, showing up. He was very instrumental in them winning that game. He had 8 opening kills out of 10 duels. That's massive right there. A great showing coming out from Nico, not to be confused with Hunter's cousin for the Heroic side. He had a great game. They're almost dropping a 30 bomb, but it was not to be. G2, they looked so good in the T side, right, Christine? It was like they were abusing that A ramp area. They had mid controlled, faking towards B, getting B control. They kind of played very differently from what I've seen of them in the recent past, where they, instead of just going to its A bomb site 12 rounds in a row, it's like, hey, there are 2 bomb sites. Let's try that out for a change. It worked out.
There are 2 bomb sites. It's the weirdest phenomenon in the world. Christine, and then Bled in this order. I'm looking at a player, though, like Jax, who seems to be a little bit more pivotal when it comes down to putting pain in the other side of the server. He seems a little absent in this series.
Yeah, and Vertigo is a map where the aggressors is generally the player that's going to have a lot of entries and openings, right? And that's exactly what we saw. Jax wasn't the player that was putting the aggression towards that A ramp. It was all about Hunter, and his timings were on point. The only reason G2 were able to have 9 rounds or so was because of Hunter just finding those entries time and time again, really bullying Testis towards that A ramp. And you could absolutely see that Heroic weren't as practiced on their CT side of things. And I guess it's a failure on Heroic's part, but really it's more so Hunter just bullying them.
Yeah, I guess it's a pretty simple way of putting it. Bled, before we go to the break, anything you want to add to that?
Nothing. I think that was Heroic's chance to close out the game, honestly speaking. And coming to Mirage, this could be G2 all the way.
It very well could be, and it could be just like we forecasted. Isn't that right, Bled? But we got to go to a break first. We come back into the 3rd map of this series. Mirage is on the cards, and it's going to be G2 and Heroic to take us there. We'll be right back, everybody. This is the Dreamhack Master Spring 2020.
No cuts allowed. I can't wait to start hyping up the crowd as I knife through the maze, heading right to the stage. I'ma serve up the mic like a rice bolognese, smoking hot like molten rock. Folks are broken off when I blow the spot like soda pop. Once I've been shaking, I'm the man if I can't be so brazen. Steep in the technique I propel, so the people jump up from the seats and the spell and amazing rapport. Anybody can safely afford in a fee that you pay at the door. My rhythm rolls till it overflows, and I get so funky you can hold your nose. So if you wanna come see me rip it again, you better come now or you won't get in. It's jam-packed. We're gonna light the fuse, stand back. We ain't trying to lose. Jam-packed. We're gonna light the fuse, stand back. We ain't trying to lose. the cops, cause we pack 'em in. Let my rap begin, then I move like a fuse when it's crackling. No eagle trip or loaded clip, no keys to flip or bones to pick. Undefiled and it's fresh, cause it gets volatile with finesse. Hip hop style at its best. When I go up and do my act, place shakes till the roof is cracked. Make the DJ booth collapse. So when I'm done, get moving fast. Front to back, inside to side, it's wall to wall and it's happening live. But man, I ain't tripping if you should leave. I understand if you need a little room to breathe. It's jam packed. You're gonna light the fuse. Stand back. We ain't trying to lose. It's jam packed. We're gonna light the fuse. Stand back. We ain't trying to lose. One more time, break it down now. Woo! Give me the mats. Countdown. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We do have that third and final map for you here between Heroic and G2. Right now, Group A is certainly heating up, Harry. A 3-map series to start the day, and Heroic right now dropping the ball right at the end of Vertigo. It looked like that comeback was materializing. G2 yank it out of their hands, and now we head to Mirage.
Yeah, you know, if these past 2 maps, Hugo, are anything to go by, Mirage is going to be a bloodbath. We're getting ready to head into our third and final map of this series. G2 taking on Heroic. And these Betway odds leaning in favor of the G2 side. Pretty heavily as well. But let's see if Cadian's Despicable Danes can upset the swing of things.
Yeah, 0 maps log for Heroic here on Mirage, so this is something new for them to try out in an official. We'll see if it works their favor. Right now, not in middle, as it's a bit of a slaughter from the G2 side of things. Amanek flashed out in B, and Nico trying to run the gauntlet, but he's going to get grenaded out, no armor. He just quickly expires down. Well, lasts not much longer with 1 shot off and a response from Nexa. It's going to be the pistol round going the way of G2. Nice start, good confidence showing from G2 in the CT side, pushing mid, getting in the face of their opponents and stealing away the round. 1-0 lead, Heroic are going to force. They are not playing around, Harry. They want to get into the action sooner rather than later. Grouping towards B by the looks of things. A fast second round here for Heroic. Spawn smoke into the catwalk area here from Nico, but Heroic are not slowing down. They're just going to commit. Oh, actually, I say that they are slowing down, but they will still commit. That Molly, however, might stop things just for a moment. Util set up and ready to go. G2 with 2 players B, and with Nico coming in on a cat split, they're about to hit the B side.
Yeah, RG2 ready for this one. Amanek waiting, and he hears them getting out past him. Nexa is just drawing the attention away. And this allows Amanek to spring his little trap, and he'll shut down 3 on the back of it. This round gets swept under the rug. G2 take themselves a second, and Amanek makes a lot of money there in that round. Brings out the potential to see an early AWP here in play over on the CT side. Wasn't going to be in this round because it is only pistols for Heroic. You don't want to run that risk if you're G2. You want to make the money versus these unarmored opponents. But now, on the back of all this money being on Amanek and Kenny, be sure to watch out for maybe even a double AWP between these two, right? I don't think that would be too out of the question.
No. Amanek constantly runs it towards the B apartments, throwing it over there. So, yeah, definitely an option for G2. And with more money being made, the likelihood only increases. Hunter gets a double, Nexa trying to frag, and Cadian is dead as well. So that's G2 taking a 3-0 lead into this map. Of course, we're waiting for this rifle round for Heroic. That's what it's all coming down to. First buy, Cadian can even get the AWP if he wants. I think it will come with, obviously, a drop from his teammate, but he's not going to go for it. Actually had the money himself, just sticks to the AK. Early days here, and you know it's a bonus round. You know G2 are running SMGs, and look at how many of them. 4 with a FAMAS. So this should be Heroic getting on the board here nice and early. If G2 win, they are going to get so much money.
Oh, Hunter mollied out from Cod, and that might be him dealt with. Indeed it is. Nico going to find him through the smoke. Smoke's exchanged in connector, and this sets it up as a bit of a weird grey area in the map. Now that's both because of the colour of the smokes and as a turn of phrase. Not really sure who's going to look to contest it, and Kenny tries to muddle his way through all the myths and in search of the truth, realizes that there's no one in this connector side. Amanek is deep in the apartments, and they do swing, they do check him. A nice read from Heroic, and this is going to see them with control at the B bomb site. Nexa on this rotation in. While he does deal with Tessez, this should be it for Nexa, and indeed it is. So Jax and Kenny left in this 2-on-4, hoping to get a bit more of a handle on this round. Kenny, we've been talking about his FAMAS being really good, which is a very weird phrase in and of itself.
Yeah.
But he was able to get one, caught by Stown on this flank inside of the A site, and he's actually going to continue to just tear down the remaining defenders. But that was the bonus round from G2. That's the important part to bear in mind. Now we get to see all the guns, now we get to see the AWPs come out, and this is going to be our first real look as to how these guys are going to stack up against Heroic here on Mirage.
G2 don't need to worry about dropping that one because it set them up to win this with an AWP in the hands of Kenny towards Spawn. A is going to be a real point of contention here in this round. We'll see if Heroic want to touch it with a very slow default. 2 outside A, 1 mid, double under, putting pressure on B as well. Heroic are all over the map. They're making sure G2 don't go for any crazy risky plays. And the hope for this for Heroic is G2 just settle back into a standard setup of their own and don't throw any aggression into this round. And that lets Heroic just execute their strategy into a standard setup, into a 2-1-2, more likely than not. We'll see if that's allowed right now. Got a player up on the catwalk, hidden behind the side of Borup, who is down lower, coming back up towards B, but his teammates taking the bomb through Spawn are going to be heading in towards the A site. Here, of course, you'll find Jackson Kenny, one of which in, one of which out. Kenny has the AWP and CT, and he's waiting for this contact play. Heroic are going to line up smokes. Jackson's getting curious at this time. He's about to get the information. That's a spot. Molly doesn't go down, but he does have a second chance. They're not going to speed up off the back of seeing him. But they now know they should be scared of players inside of the site. There's Zeus in every corner, Harry. Even in the corner of our room. Bang! Oh! All the time! Cadian actually has the bomb, and the dude in front of him is shot. Harry, you've done it again. You've really dropped the ball. You've been muted. How many rounds has that happened?
No, it was just then. Just before that moment. Just
really,
before the Zeus clip.
Yeah, I mean, I'm impressed at your ability. I'm taking away your ability to mute your own
man,
mic
I think
after
I'm
this
taking
one.
it away as well. I'm just going to have to cough down the mic.
Give me this, and then do that, and then never close that screen that you've opened on your PC, and then you'll never mute yourself again. All right, there we go. It's all fixed. It's all sorted. But yeah, I mean, slightly moving me away from whatever that last round was, regardless. It's going to be a 4-1 lead. Quick reset from G2 on that outer site. But yeah, no, Cadian's walking towards default, and the bomb is on his back, but the dude in front of him gets shot by Hunter. That slows him down, and that actually stops Cadian from planting because the time is so low. Definitely too low for Heroic. They did the classic of getting the bomb out ramp and crossing towards Tetris and stairs instead of focusing on crossing into site to get the plant. Luckily, this round is a lot better from Heroic. Despite having less, they get more done. And Nico only on a dig, but they're still going to be allowed a plant here in this A bomb site. G2 might just save their 3 guns. It's all they have in this round. And it's all they'll have in the next, as there's no money in the reserves, and Heroic have seemingly found their second.
Yeah, finally making it work. Our Heroic over on this T side, and this is going to be a second one up on the board. Still early days, still time for them to turn this around. And you know, with this G2 squad, it feels like it's always been the case of these strong starts that then start to turn sour later on in the game, right? So this isn't unheard of. This comeback from Heroic would kind of be par for the course at this point, it feels like.
Yeah, but G2 have got a good bit out of this one, so with an AWP and a couple of rifles, they can certainly stop Heroic from building into this T side. Haha, psych. Quick pause first. Heroic want to work out maybe what G2 are bringing into this one and how they're going to approach it. I mean, Heroic haven't played Mirage themselves, so it's no surprise G2 have not taken on Heroic on this map, which is obviously not only a bit of a formation of a new roster, but also a team that hasn't really played that many officials, hasn't really played many events coming into 2020. We didn't have the luxury of seeing them in either Pro League or Road to Rio, so it's nice to have them on our screens here and now. Putting up a fight against definitely some of the best in Europe. G2 undoubtedly in that position. Consistency is always the issue with this team though. And even closing games, we saw that back on a Vertigo, it almost came back to bite G2. They did pick it up though, it sent us to a third, and here is the culmination of all that action. Double under push here, G2 flashed out, Jax can't see, Borum spotted them though, and he gets tagged. He now knows there's a second player there, can decide when to fight, and with the flash he goes and gets hunted dead. Heroic with the two-man advantage, Kenny's pushed apartments, he has got that info. There is a closer player he needs to worry about, falling out of the apartments and letting Heroic go where they want.
Well, they've gone knocking, and no one's actually home at B. So the Danes, they've moved in. They've bought all their friends too.
Squatters' rights.
Yeah, that's allowed. G2 can't even do anything about this one. They're going to back away. They're going to try and save. Heroic, once again, another round that goes very, very dominantly their way. And this time they catch Kenny trying to hold on to this AWP.
It will be a safe save though, with Heroic getting away with 4. No more casualties here for G2. Enemies are not close enough. This is a strong start from Heroic. It may have been the pistol with conversions from G2, but other than that, since they've hit their rifles, they've only won 1 round. Pales to the 3 rifle rounds of Heroic, or at least, you know, one of them being an anti-eco or an anti-force rather. G2, however, still have a bit of money. It will attempt them in. It shouldn't, as, you know, that loss bonus is beginning to build now with a couple in a row for Heroic, so G2 are going to have a really good buy moving forward. Nexa, what a team player, gives Kenny the AWP in this round and plays with the pistol behind it. So Kenny is armed and dangerous as usual, and Heroic are not waiting around.
Yeah, they've really picked up the pace on this one, but that's going to lead them into this double stack between Amanek and Hunter. Amanek not able to hold the line, but he does put up 2 for his troubles. Testes comes in with one of his own, and Sound is running the risk of going down. Oh dear, another dig. Oh, no.
What? How's he alive?
I don't know how he survives there. Really, really don't. But somehow, some way he does. And so Heroic now tying this up, 4-4. Reinvestment coming through for G2. It's going to be lacking the AWP. It's going to be rifles out. They could get 1 glass cannon. I'm curious to see what the decision is. A tactical pause now called through for the G2 side. They're having a think. Having to mull this one over. No investment yet. What's the game plan? Because Amanek could get a glass cannon AWP, but like that's not wild. That's not out of the question, but he's gone just for the rifle. So no AWP in sight over here for G2.
Maybe they'll play a more aggressive round, right? Where they try and, you know, bring the fight to Heroic, figure out where that majority is, and go for a classic G2 round where they just play aggressive. But Cadian completely denies Kenny a mid-peak. Knocked out a connector like that. Just instant headshot with the AWP, and Heroic set up towards B. Bomb is outside of ramp, though, so If they do commit, that could leave the bomb getting cut off by a mid push. So they're going to wait for Stow to rejoin with the team before they go. Borb is still very much ahead of the curve, but as that smoke fades, Amanek has gotten into position on the balcony. It's a good angle. Heroic are going to be focused and looking into the site. They might not check their right side. Nico has cleared A, though, or is about to, and that's a massive kill, as it might draw rotation. It might draw players away from this A site, giving Heroic the room to move inside of B. It's too late for them to go back spawn to A. They just know Nico can cause a real problem in the backline. G2 now are thinking they're trying to save, and that's further from the truth. That's so far away from the truth, because Heroic get a kill in B. They don't commit behind it. This is such a weird round. Stown has come out through spawn to clear this position, and with the bomb, they go all the way back through. A very dangerous decision, but a good call from Heroic, and finding a kill in B in the meantime has certainly made that better as well. Nexus should be able to stop the mid lurk. Past that point, Heroic have a plant available.
Yeah, with Nico so deep in CT, their problems really are just beginning here on the G2 side. This AWP even keeping an eye on short side, and it's probably just got to be another one of these saves again. It feels like how this kind of last 3-round streak for Heroic has gone. A lot of these saves coming through, and that's not even a guarantee here for G2. They are getting hunted. Heroic are not fans of letting them hold these weapons any longer.
Terrorists win.
Oh, the drop. Oh, that's so annoying. The last second drop, I was sighing, like, oh, phew, he got away. Borups walked past him. Nope. Right back into the firing line, falls down the stairs, and, well, G2 come tumbling down with him. Their money as well, broken. So your mic is muted, Harry, but you haven't touched it. And I can verify that you haven't touched it because the mouse has been upside down the entire time.
So that's a fun one.
That's a weird one.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's going into auto mute mode.
Okay.
Now,
it's a little bit
okay,
juicy.
right. Interesting.
Let's see. Tessa is out in top of mid. And I'm trying to silence him like they might be to me.
The people, Harry, they just don't want to hear what you want to say.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's easy for me, right? Let's go. Heroic back here through T-spawn. And now creeping up into the apartments. When I say apartments, I do mean palace. And they're going to look for this A-side execute. Now, they've got all the utility in the world to go for this play. And that's going to go raining on in. It's been telegraphed. G2 know what's up. This is as cookie cutter as it gets. Heroic. It's the standard A execute into these pistols. And already, Kenny has put one up on the board through the smoke. Another kill is found. And oh dear, they're really playing with fire here on the Heroic side. They're sticking around. They're fighting the pistols as they try and cross into the site. And now it is just Cadian in this 1v2. Jax is very, very low. Next peek in the stairs. Cadian, as he looks down, it falls apart. I don't know what's going on. G2, they managed to find that round armed with nothing more than deagles. 4 kills for Nexa.
He got boosted above the smoke in jungle, and he killed a Palace player coming out, right? Like, that was the first kill, and I'm like, wow, that's sick. Then he runs through the jungle smoke onto bench and doubles up. Like, this guy, he will not let Heroic get comfortable, even on a full eco round. G2 get it done. And that's like the 3rd or 4th time they've done that in this series as well. So this is not a surprising round for G2. It's almost expected at this point. Heroic run right into the stack and they'll come to regret it. Cadian does have the money for the AWP in the round following, so Heroic still have a good bit of cash in their bank accounts. Double AWP though available for G2. One gifted over at the end of the last, so Amanex got his down on B. Kenny's still here on triple side. Heroic, they are coming out mid from top and bottom at the same time. In the meantime, G2 are gaining information and map control with it, pushed in towards the ramp. Connector getting smoked. G2 absolutely fine with giving away mid here, as long as they trade other positions. Now, they have taken A. Here's the danger. You don't want to double flank all the way through spawn, because suddenly you get beaten on a timing. And if G2 walk through Connector as you're in T-spawn, well, you have to play retake A from a position they're expecting. They are going to commit with this, though. I mean, fair enough for G2. This is a very ballsy call, but if this is an A split, it could essentially lead them out of the site. Their rotate time will be very good, of course, but they'll be coming through positions that G2 expect. And of course, in the meantime, that leaves Kenny in a very big problematic position. Nice flank, though. Great timing.
Yeah, the perfect time to pull the trigger as well. And they send Jax to continue through mid, and Hunter is the man to wrap T-spawn. I love this decision, because if Jax dies or if Jax gets the kill, that's the man you're anticipating. That's the man you're ready for. It's Hunter, aggro at ramp, that's now a bit of an X factor, and they learn that he's here. They learn his whereabouts, and this is going to keep their attention fixated on him. This maybe gives a bit more room to Jackson Amanek. Hunter out from ramp, will lay waste to Tesses on this initial peak, but there's still a man in CT. Hunter hasn't spotted him yet, but he will do eventually, and now he's like tunnel visioned on Borup. Hunter is really living up to his name. He wants all the kills, he wants all the fame,
How
and
can
he's
you
gonna
stop
get
him?
it. G2, 6 on the board. I don't know, man, it's scary. Like, he runs into that site like an attack dog, man. He's just looking one by one. They present themselves to him, and he's able to put this 6th round on the board for G2.
Yeah, and that's off the eco in, right? You know, just getting given all the money, all the guns, and they put them to good use. Kenny with a big kill of the first player coming out A into Palace. Obviously the flank from Jackson. Hunter just cleaning up the retake there. G2, they're going to smoke the top and middle. They want more mid control. They want more real estate, but they're going to lose A at the same time. Jackson's alone here, and he doesn't realize how fast they're coming. Flash goes over to mid, but that's a collapse. Kenny hits a shot. Jax finishes the job, and he's looking for more, but Testis has already gone deep inside of the site. Heroic, a man down. G2 could afford to give up the plant here and play for retake. They've got everyone trapped inside of A. That's a good Molotov. Nico gets the plant, but it pushes him down low as he leaves the position. Kenny going CT to play for retake. He's on his own with the AWP. That's the only danger in this round. He's got to kill Testis here. Oh, that's a big kill going back the way of Heroic. It puts G2 coming all in from the jungle.
Yeah, and this is problematic. Now it's set up for a CT post plant, and in the blink of an eye, Cadian and Nico have kept this in the advantage of the Danes. Amanek is going to back on out, holds on to the AWP. This third and final map, it really is delivering on the promise of being a close back and forth affair, because that has been the story of this first half of play. Still feels like we're yet to see a team emerging as the dominant kind of victors here. This one really is down to the wire. And as we approach the end of this first half, this is where the money really starts to become a big talking point. Because you'll look over at Heroic and you'll see that, you know, with the loss bonus they've been able to accumulate in these last few rounds, with the victories that they have found being clean, it's looking really good over here for Heroic. They've got some residual cash left in these bank accounts, and the same cannot be said when you look over at G2. They've got this buy, and that is kind of the extent of it. Next round would have to be an eco from the G2 squad. And it looked like this was going to be a fast B, but something has led Heroic to pull the plug on this one. They throw all this utility out. They had a man about to rush Catwalk, and I think it's because they have an idea that Hunter might be toying around with this mid-aggression. He's just out on Cat, like he just stood in the open, and he sees the legs of Nico. Nico's showing a little too much leg Hunter's way, and he's going to wish he didn't.
Yeah, maybe not the cousin Nico, but it is a kill regardless. He'll take it. No bowling today. Nico gets bold bullets, and it's a strike. G2, a man up in this round. 6-6, nearing the end of the half. This is where the lead is going to get locked in. Someone's got to take it. Who will it be? Heroic with only 4, grouping for a B, execute. 2 players here playing close. Amanek on the boost again, and Nexus jumping. That could bait them in. They might not check this position because they've just seen Nexus playing close, and they don't. Flash out, Amanek's got the first. Can't follow up. Nexus now rather, hiding in the back of the site. Kenny's come on rotation. He's doubled up with the AWP, and the T-AWP getting dropped by Nexa on the bench. G2 mow down Heroic coming into B. Absolutely no issue. 7-6, lead locked, and Heroic, they do at least have the money for these last 2 rounds of the half. They've got a pause behind it as well. A technical one, not a tactical one, so a bit of a change of pace here as things slow right down. Hopefully just TeamSpeak issues or the like, and we can be back in very soon.
Wow. That was good. Talk about resolving problems quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I've been working hard here, Harry.
Oh, never mind, actually. It's all broken again.
Oh, I'll get back
False
to it.
alarm. Hugo, sorry, you were just saying you've been working hard here.
Yeah, not hard enough, clearly, Harry.
Well, there we go. It's really drawn to a close this time around. You can trust us, Hugo and I. We know a lot of things, and this is one of them. This game is about to go live, 7-6 right now, heading into round number 14. And it's G2 in the lead, trying to be the team to win out the half here. Every one of these maps has gotten close in this series, and this one is already no exception, and we're not even done with the first half yet. So getting into the second half with any smidgen of rounds extra that you can could make all the difference here. Lots of mid-control attempted early on for Heroic. Something a little bit different here as they've really made this an emphasis in this round. Now that the utility of G2 starts to fade, what are Heroic hoping for? Where are they trying to look towards? Because they've got this set up so that it could end anywhere. They might just hold mid and wait and see if they catch any players from G2 trying to aggress, trying to go for these info plays. And, you know, speak of the devil, and he just might appear. And in this case, that there is Kenny S. He's on catwalk. He's going for these info peaks into mid. This is the man that Heroic might look to exploit to open this round up. However, Nico up through connector. There's a world in which he could get to stairs if he catches a timing, and he could help Cadian out of ramp. Instead, they're going to try and pressure Kenny. And Kenny, undeterred by the first few players, goes back in for 3. Only good for 2, though. However, this A site is still holding tall, and Jax has made noise. They don't know about Hunter. In fact, no one knows about Hunter, and Cadian's going to find out the hard way. Borup gets shut down as well. It's 8-6 for G2, and now a 9-6 half feels likely. That makes a world of difference to G2 in this situation.
You make a really good point, and that actually could have been a really good fallback for Heroic after they lose 2 on catwalk to Kenny. They get that trade, but because Kenny got kills, Cadian had run back ramp side. If he stayed there, they could have traded Kenny, and Nico could have split stairs while Cadian came out ramp. At bare minimum, hopefully they would have traded, and maybe that was a winnable round. That was the only way Heroic were going to do it. They didn't want to commit into towards B after Kenny getting away with so much, and a rotate definitely being there. So yeah, Heroic is just kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, and they can't get out alive. Now it's a force for the half. G2 3 rounds up rather, looking to get 3 rounds up at the end of the half. Got the guns to do it. That's a nice grenade. Significant damage, but a pop-out palace will work well for Cadian. He does get traded. The SMG's finding success. Jax has to get the kills, but Nico's dropped in from above as well. Some way, somehow, these ecos almost feel favored. Heroic did not have the guns for this round, but they have G2 looking in the wrong places, and that's enough to get a bomb plant. And a smoke in the face of Nexa forces him to jump window side into the orb. Nowhere where G2 can go. Every path is treacherous and filled with Danes, and that's not going to change. Looking like an 8-7. Amanek, surely no time at this point. Creeping, crawling, moving, shooting, but here's Bob to close the round, and that will be it. 7 at the end of the T side for Heroic. They put up a very good fight in this third and final map. It's neck and neck. It's so close, and we're going to have to find out where it goes. So join us in a moment for this second half of the map.
Can you feel the connection?
Welcome back to the second half. It's G2 taking on Heroic in a bit of a banging matchup here that's gone the distance and looks to go on even longer. Split right down the middle at the end of the first half, and, well, who knows where this one's going. Heroic certainly don't. They've not even played a CT side yet. They've not played an official on Mirage. This is their first, and now they've got to deal with a fast take from G2 straight out the pallet.
Yeah, no waiting around, and well, somehow the trades have ended up in favor of G2. I thought Nico was going to get more done there. Cadian, he's wiggling and jiggling over in CT, and oh, he's on to another. Go on, Cadian, my son. He's on 3, and he's looking for a 4th. The nade's going to do it. Stown does delete him, but a great round from Cadian. And an 8th now on the board for Heroic. Pistol round going their way. They tie this up. And they're looking to keep it competitive, Hugo Byron.
If they take this win as well, like we've talked about the consequences, we've talked about the fact that this group is 3 Danes, G2 already losing to, I want to say, actually, I don't want to say the worst Danish team, like, because that's not clear. I think the North Heroic game will decide that, at least in this group, right? So, yeah, I mean, I don't know where Heroic are in terms of matchup against North. I'd like to think that they're better, but the result here is looking very similar to the one that North had yesterday. It took them 3 maps, they got it done. Heroic, it's taking their 3 maps. They're trying to get it done. G2 on an eco, but that does not mean that it's a lock-in round for Heroic, not by any means of the word, but this one really is a low investment. 2 D250s and a Tech 9. Tessa spots the lower play. Nico now in a bit of a problem as he's stuck between 2 waves of enemies. Luckily, teammates covering his top side of mid. He can just shoot down lower, and he's dropped a couple in the process. Hunter alone. They know he's here. They've got his grenade, and he's going to get finished off by the SMG. 9 rounds for Heroic, taking the lead, and G2 coming back in with guns. The crowd goes mild. What was that? You can hear them roar into their feet.
Was a mistake to serve alcohol in the venue, though. I will say that much.
I don't know, mate. I'm loving it.
Kenny down here in the bottom of mid, and he's trying to get a kill, an opener with this orb. Tesses over at short side, down with him, and this is the double peek into middle. Nico holding on.
Covered.
Cadian is a guardian angel. Nico was dead there. I thought Nico had died. And no, Cadian comes in.
Guardian angel, maybe.
Bails his teammate out. And maybe all heroes don't necessarily wear capes in this game. Cadian saving his teammate's life, putting Heroic up with a man advantage, leaving them in a 5-on-4, and G2 now back to the drawing board. They're going to group up outside of this A bomb site with all 4 players. These rotations for Heroic are a pretty long way away, but look at this minimap. Nico and Stown both pushing into the apartments. At this point, Heroic, they know it's either mid or it's A, and it's not leaving much to the imagination here as Utility comes in towards the A bomb site. 3 players out from ramp, a second up in Palace. Kenny and Nexa, they've been able to keep this in even odds. This wrap is still coming in. It's still very much on its way.
Oh, dear.
It's just been chugging along quietly in the background this whole round, and they only know that Stown is here right now. The second man of Nico is a complete surprise if you're Amanek. Does he have this one in the bag? 1v3, does find the first, but he's getting spammed and a flash going up and over. Amanek, how on earth is he going to survive? It does deal first, but not able to follow up to Tesses. And it got close.
He was on the
not
head.
Quite. Yeah.
He was on the head of Tesses.
If there's half a second more in that round there, I think Amanek gets it. But
yeah.
Tesses, good job to close out the 1v1. Heroic 10 on the board, the AWP retrieved. And they're feeling pretty good that they're able to keep that one under wraps.
Yeah, barely though. Barely locked in by Heroic. That's a nice round from them, but G2 certainly making it close considering how locked out they should have been. Man, Amanek is such a clutch player in this team. I mean, this team is full of clutch players, really, but Amanek has always been an entertaining guy to watch on his own. 8 rounds for G2 though. This might be slipping through their fingers. Heroic finding 3 in a row coming into this half. G2 have an eco before a full buy. It's a fast approach with the pistols again out A. It worked wonders for them in the past, and they've actually dropped the AWP and gotten control of that. The grenade trying to push it back. And And I think it may have, but Hunter has grabbed it nonetheless. He's pushed deep into the spawn to pick that one up. Borup chasing the kills. The flashbang from Stown. He's fully whited. And Borup can line up kills. Stown assisting. Another flash coming out from their teammate. Nico sets him up and Kenny gets knocked down. It's Nexa alone. Deagle 1-on-4. Bomb is for him, but that's about all he has going for him right now. Heroic have a bountiful amount of utility, and as soon as they start sticking this defuse, Nexa's got to go out for the fight. There's the tap. They're sticking it with the one player that doesn't have a kit in this round. Dangerous decision, but no punishment for it. Stown's going to get taken down, and the defuse will come through no problem. It was actually a default plant as well, so not even for Nexa. And yeah, I mean, at least the bomb plant, right? G2 were buying up anyway, but now they can afford everything. Now Kenny can get the orb.
And now that conversation we were starting to have back on Vertigo about the danger of Heroic picking up this series, G2 going down 0-2, losing to both North and Heroic, and then only having Astralis left to face in this group. Well, there's a risk that that becomes a reality again here for the G2 side. And if it continues in this fashion, it's certainly starting to look like that could be the case. A two-man advantage taken early on, thanks to Borup and Testers going aggressive down in middle. G2 left with just 3 players surviving, and they're all over here at A. They're trying to gain a bit of ground, anything. Really, at this point, if Heroic are giving it away, G2 will take it. They don't have much of a choice. They get into this site, they're trying to find what they can, but no one from Heroic is peeking. This is gross, man. There's like everyone here from Heroic right now, and G2, they don't have any idea that that's the case. They don't know. They even just cleared up on top of the stairs. And there's players hidden in the connector, so Kenny is far from safe in this position. Saying that, he still finds one. He's still bought it into a 3-on-3, and these trades just haven't come through from Heroic.
Yeah, they've not been given any. Katie's posted up after his teammate died in spawn, but no one's peeked, no one's fighting, and now Heroic, the time is the biggest problem. It's not the opponents, it's that bomb. It's ticking away, and no one's even in the site yet. It's a default plant. Heroic have to get in. They have to get past Kenny. It's a quick trade from the AWP, but no one's tapped it, and Amanex on the bomb, exactly on top of the bomb. Down with the kill, but I don't know if there's time, even though he sticks it. I feel like it might just be lost. G2, oh, they've lost it. Heroic pick it up. Wow, what a defuse from Stown. Last possible second, jumps around the corner, hits the shot, and I don't know, Amanek, if he just hides, he wins the round. If he just doesn't peek, if he just doesn't trade, he wins the round. But he goes for the fight here, and Stown's so quick at pulling out his sidearm, will pick it up for Heroic. That has got to be such a, you know, mentally, that's got to be horrible for G2. And you can see how close that was. 0.1 seconds on the defuse. Ugh. For G2, that might cost them the map right there. So, big consequences from that round. And what was initially a 5-on-3 retake for Heroic, it should have been a clean and easy one for them. G2, they got control only to let it slip at the last possible 0.1 second.
That's wild. I can't believe that there was time for that. I really did.
I thought it was
that's
off.
Just so down to the wire. It's down. Balls of steel to stick the defuse. He knows a thing or two about defusing these bombs. And maybe one day he'll teach G2 a lesson or two. Nico with a bit of a spray down through mid. Cadian nutmegging the AWPer on the other side. Kenny gets one between the legs, but he's fine with that.
I think you would have spotted the cross. That's 2 as well. Cadian's seen 2 players leave B. What does that lead Heroic to do? Information. But no movement, no reaction. This bomb is still here as well, so Heroic, it's a good decision that they don't abandon this B bomb site. It might come into play later in the round with G2 up catwalk and Nico smoked in the window. He can't offer assistance to middle. Cadian's trying to watch this apartment's position from the barrel. Takes a look at Cat. Stown's still here. He can smoke a Molotov, and I imagine G2 will want to throw one in once they've spotted the AWP just to push it back. Cadian blinded, has a molly as well. That's going to stall things out. G2 have one man in front of it. Stown's dropped that man, though. Cadian getting grenaded out of the car. Nico swinging 4-1. It's going to be a trade on to Stown on top of the balcony. He gets mollied out, tries to smoke it, doesn't survive. Tess says now, trying to get back into this round. His teammate is so far away, and G2 have planted.
this might just have to be a save. And you don't love making that call if you're Heroic, but 2v4, not something they fancy. And if they do hold on to both these rifles at the very, very least, they could look to invest in this follow-up round. Heroic, 9-12, still in the lead, but we've seen throughout this entire series that these comebacks just happen left and right. So, you know, a 3-round lead isn't really much to be hanging on by at this point in time. There's still a chance for G2 to grind their way back into this game.
For sure. I mean, think about how close this series has been. Map to map, game to game. I'm now here in the third. A 16-13 on Nuke. Same story on Vertigo, the way of G2. That's led us here. G2 not wanting to stop after they've come this far. Still attainable, still achievable. Kenny with the cross shot. Can't see because of the Molotov. Heroic are able to cross 2 players towards Connector as a result, and they will be fighting for middle a little bit more than they have in the past. Often this has been a position that G2 own on the T side. Splitting under with top, a common occurrence. Hunter coming in from the tunnels. B has been mainly left open. It's only Stan watching it right now. Bit of a heavy setup over on the A side of things, as well as his double cap play. G2 finally going to take mid. Hunter's been waiting for this all round. The window is smoked. He doesn't have to worry about that. It's just Connector that contains a bunch of Danes ready to swing with some SMGs. If they get a flash thrown from anywhere, really, they can pop mid and be a real nuisance to Hunter. You can see how ready G2 are for something of the sort. Now, with the flash going out, the grenade will follow. Heroic are going to try and take fights. So prepared.
Yeah, G2, they knew what was going on. Tessez has done what he can, but ultimately it's not going to mean a lot in this round for Heroic. They've lost mid, and G2, they're tending over towards this B side right now. For Borup and Cadian, a long way away from the action. Borup's probably just going to have to save. And it's another call that you don't love. You don't love it, but you got to do it. You know, you got to play for the long game here if you're Heroic. We've seen that whole series long. Once again, G2 are hunting, and this time they've got their best men on the case. Detective Hunter and Special Agent Jax reporting in. And they both found him. They both cracked the case wide open, in fact. It's a 10th on the board for G2. They reached double digits. 2 away from Heroic, and with a broken economy lying in the Dane side right now, this 11th should be looming right around the corner for G2.
Yeah, and to get broken at this point is not going to be feeling good for Heroic. That's only going to give G2 more and more confidence. They know it's coming. Hunter's got the info on A. He spots 5 players, and now we can just see G2 speed things up and go elsewhere. The Molotov, it won't contain them, but it will kill one. I think he gets picked up. Borup going to walk back into the flames, and Hunter gets a second kill. Bit of a mess, blocked by his teammate, but not a worry, because there was only one gun up for grabs, and Nico had taken it anyway. Heroic still conceding this round, though, even with this save. KDN has no interest in moving. G2, same story. They got a plant, they got an 11th round round the corner, so just hold on, just wait, don't move, and it will come to you. Heroic are going to be able to rebuy, they'll have everything they need, plus an AK available. That could free up some money to buy the AWP. I'm actually not sure if they'll have it here, because it's only 3rd loss bonus for Heroic. And they went on a streak of 5 prior, so someone else has got to do the maths. Testers might have to drop it. Obviously, Glass is pretty much always available, but you don't want to do that. And yeah, okay, yeah, only Testers with enough, and that would be Glass, so he won't go for it. Heroic are going to keep up with the rifles. This 1 AK does allow for that, but it also doesn't give you many opportunities to make a mistake, because G2 1 away from 12, and they've got the money to fall back on if things do go wrong. I love the fact that this is all off of G2 making the perfect read that Heroic were going to burst mid, and G2 just wait in mid all round until that happens and then kill everyone. So good reads from G2 in this T side. It's put them in this position in the first place, and 5 in a row to start the half from Heroic. They've been silent ever since.
We might have a little B play on our hands here from G2. It looks like some fake utility gets thrown out from Kenny, and now the B hit comes on in. And Stown, well, he was alone for a moment. The short players are in, and boy, the cleanup crew has arrived for the side of Heroic. Nico's even pushed the lower tunnels. Bye-bye, Kenny, and followed up is Nexa. 13 on the board for Heroic. They take one back their way, and they give G2 a bit of a taste of their own medicine. A very, very fast rotation, both in through cat and lower tunnels. And that's enough to steal the round away. I love it. They don't fall for the fake that Kenny's trying to throw in. They've got a man jump peek in the van to get the early info.
I'm liking these fun facts. They're certainly things that I'm not catching, and little tidbits, little bits and bobs, and we're learning a lot. Nothing like a second round AWP. I'm always a fan of that. Stupid investment, but it's just great to see, you know. Obviously, the risk is you die to a pistol, and what did Cadian do?
Yeah, he did die to a pistol, Hugo.
Damn. Crazy how that happens.
Sometimes it be like that.
It do.
In fact, if I'm the one with the AWP, or if anyone watching is the one with the AWP, I bet it feels like that happens all the time when you go for those risky AWP buys. That someone's got to be having success with them somewhere.
Bang!
And well, here's Kenny showing us how to be successful with his. He goes aggressive up into Palace, strips Cadian from the ranks almost immediately. And that's one of these AWPs out of play. I think actually mid control looking to be the aim of the game right now for G2, and Kenny not content with one kill at A. He's thinking, how can I really drive this one home for my team? The answer would be a second A pick, and there it is. Kenny S gets it on the cards. 5-on-3 now for G2. Kenny, he got one, he got two. If you know numbers, you might know what comes next.
Heroic gonna headshot him?
We'll have to wait and see, Hugo. We'll have to wait and see. That molly forces Tessez out into the open somewhat. Still actually trapped behind triple. That molly, this one certainly will. And they are ready. They are waiting for it. Down they go. It's a double from Nexa, out from ramp, and this A site crumbles under the pressure of Nexa and Kenny. Stown's got a save, and it's the 12th on the board for G2. This is such a brawly game of Counter-Strike right now.
It's just not clear. Like, it's one team adapting, and then the other picks up 3, and then the other picks up 3, and it's like no one's streaking together a victory here. No one wants to let go. So as soon as Heroic get comfortable, that's when G2 come in with a new idea, and vice versa. Now, here's my worry here for Heroic. At 13-12, they've saved this AWP. They don't have loss bonus, at least not a lot of it, because, of course, they have been winning these rounds. And now, because their money's low, it might be very tempting to buy around this AWP. That could dig them a deep hole. That could really put them in a bad place. If they don't win it, of course. I mean, that's the risk reward, right? It's not even necessarily the buy is the bad decision. It's losing it, which is the worry. You buy, you win it, you save yourself, and you still have a round buffer. It's, can feel better than ecoing and letting G2 equal up the scoreline before you buy up with only a little bit more than you would have here. So, yeah, Heroic, they're going to go for it, and I would have done the same. But, the worry is this could let G2 not only equal up, but take the lead on an anti-eco. Warp out for Cadian, looking to have some longevity in this round. He got picked up by Kenny very quickly in the previous. Not going to happen here.
Molly, smoke into CT. Kenny trying to continue his reign of terror at the A bomb site. And this bomb, along with the rest of G2, isn't really here. It's waiting over in top mid. And they are showing a very, very passive round here on the G2 side, knowing that the money isn't that good for Heroic.
Oh, Nico. Oh, wow. He read it like a book. Jumps up on top of the boxes, kills Amanek, and survives the AWP. G2, they wanted to split A. Now they're back in spawn messing around. Hunters walked through the smoking corner. They found him. G2 are going to go back towards A without the mid split, without the player inside of the A site, and in a 3-on-5. This is going to be more than difficult, and that grenade certainly won't help.
Yeah, Nico gets even more damage downrange. He spots players getting out through ramp. This draws the rotations back. Heroic, they did send 3 players over towards B. There was a timing where there were only 2 guys here at A. But now, because of Stown pushing through the apartments, coming in on this ramp, in through ramp, he's in the back line. Heroic know what's going on. G2, they just cleared it. Kenny physically just checked behind, and he saw no one. And Stown has caught the perfect timing. He's got the round locked in. It's a clean one for Heroic, a flawless one at that. 14 on the board. But still money available to G2. And with the ebbs and flows of this game, with how it's gone, with the pause being called on in, I'm not writing this one off yet. I'm not counting my chickens before they hatch. I've learned my lesson, Hugo.
Yeah, let's watch these eggs, Harry. Yeah, dear. Well, that's actually a really good stat to read, or a fun fact. The 3 kills between the top and bottom fragger on Heroic. It's always nice having a close kill distribution. Obviously, what's nice is having a player go and drop 30 kills. But we saw, for example, back on Nuke, that didn't work for Nexa. He drops 33, he loses the map. Sometimes having one player popping off isn't good, or isn't good enough, because there are certain positions, certain fights, certain rounds where it doesn't matter who you are and how good you are, you're just not going to win them because you're in the wrong position, or because you're being outplayed, or because G2 are using a utility well. So the fact that everyone's performing is a good sign. It means Heroic can depend on their teammates, they can play as a unit, and they can work towards a greater goal, and that is the victory. Only 2 rounds away from it now. Stown's got back, and he has killed Kenny. Cadian died last time in that position. Stown will not fall for it.
And this is it, man advantage for Heroic at 14 rounds. This is exactly what they wanted, and I'm imagining we just see them turtle down in these bomb sites now. They're still floating around in mid. But yeah, they're not taking any aggressive angles at this point. They know the pressure's on G2, right? Heroic, they are feeling so confident at this point in time. They can trade their way to victory in this round, and they're still fine. G2 are grouping up for another one of these A plays, and these have not been terribly consistent for G2. This time, though, they've only got this double hold to go up against, and Stown's ult back in CT is fixated on ramp, so this maybe gives the player in Palace and Amanek a little bit more room to work with. I don't see a world in which Hunt is able to find much through the connector. Ooh. It's going to be wild if he does, but it seems like he's caught a pretty good timing, and he manages to dodge the players in window. Hunt has opened up, and he's coming in through con. He's actually dropped the man on his way in. And now that he holds the jungle, he denies so much vision into this A site. But Nico, that there is a crucial frag, because now the bomb is trapped in Sandwich. And while Nexa does deal with the first man, 2 players back in CT, there is no time to rotate away. Nexa, he needs to play for this A site here and now. He spots Cadian, and Cadian gets the kill up, but Stown with a very important trade, takes it then and there. And that's match and series point now for Heroic.
Yeah, big round there. I don't think, Nexa expecting a double CT. Stown had already killed a player from that position, but then he tucked and hid. Oh no, he actually got a kill on Palace, sorry. He tucked and hid after he got tagged, after G2 ran out ramp, and then Cadian rotates off a B to fire off with the AWP, and G2 think, well, there's only one AWP in CT, we've seen him. Nope, there's a double, and the repeat comes through. It's going to be Heroic finding 15 first, and match series point here in Group A. Heroic, they took Astralis a distance yesterday. They took them to overtime and a 30-rounder, losing both maps, though. They showed us they came to play here at this tournament. And right now, this result could be doing the talking. 1 round, 3 chances to do it, all the money, at least in this one. But that goes for both cases. G2 have it as well.
Oh, it's a fast round from Kenny. And this might be the time to throw something like this in. No one is watching for connector. No one is watching this position.
Ooh.
And so Kenny being so deep, this is something that Heroic shouldn't be ready for. Can he find any utility from this position? Bar up at the back in CT, does nail the first and the second. Oh, looking for a third. Not quite able to deal with it. Man advantage taken here. Heroic setting up to retake this A bomb site. A bomb plant comes in for G2 at the very, very least to try and keep on fighting here on Mirage. Try and keep that dream alive. Kenny on his flank does deal with Tesses. And he's even spotted an AWP in CT. This is very, very slow from Heroic. This is giving a lot of time to G2, and it's giving a lot of usage out of Kenny in this aggressive position. He's allowed to reroute down into mid. Now, the bomb isn't planted for him. So these players in the site have got to make a stand, and Amanek trying to hold the cross. Can't do it. Kenny, the bomb's not planted for him. He's got to get in now, and they're on the bomb. Cadian locks it in, but there's no time for the defuse. Stan was on the site. He had a kit.
Who did Nico jump on first with
Nico was the
no
guy
kit?
defusing, yeah.
Oh dear, that is a blunder and a half for Heroic. I looked away, Harry. I thought the game was done. I tabbed out. I was like, yeah,
G2
cool.
had started leaving the server.
Yeah.
They thought the game was done.
Oh no.
G2, get back in. We need you again. It's not done just yet, boys.
You can still win this. Oh god, what's the comms got to be like right now for G2? They cannot be feeling positive. That's that's G2 going, well, GG guys, I guess. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you in the next one. Oh, yeah, they're probably throwing things all over their desk, Harry. And right then they need to rejoin the server because Heroic bottled the defuse. Was there not time for the 10 seconds?
Not for the 10 seconds.
Did he stick half of it and then they swapped?
Yeah. He started with like he got like 3 seconds in and then stopped. And I think at that point, Stown had actually run away from the site as well, like thinking there was enough time.
That's the second time that's happened. I actually can't remember who it was, whether it was the first half or the second half of this game. I think it was Heroic as well, where they were defusing
it was
4 alive.
Borup did that.
4 alive.
This time, Nico.
1 didn't have a kit, and he stuck the defuse in a 3-on-3 or 4-on-4, and they won it. It wasn't a problem, but like right there is when it is a problem. Heroic.
That's hilarious, man. I can't believe G2 weren't even in the server. Like they were like, yeah, well, it's done. It's not done. This is how it feels sometimes. And now, a tag from short side onto Kenny. North? Heroic. They've gone with this full buy here. They've fully invested into this one.
I just can't believe that happened. I've not seen that in a while.
I can't believe it either. Let's see. We get a repeat of that same round again. If this goes to OT now, I will lose my mind because G2, they physically left. I don't even know what's happening. We're into a 3-on-3. Oh, the Eagles coming on a wrap round. This is chaos. This is madness. This is pandemonium. And Amanek, in amongst all the chaos, puts it back into a 2-on-2. Tessez in through connector, spots him, but isn't able to put a kill up on the board. Lower and lower his HP goes, and finally they deal with him. Cadian, 1v2. It's not going to happen. He's running away. 14 on the board for G2. What is going on? What is this game? Cadian's got to save. 14 on the board for G2, and they clearly weren't believing a moment ago, but man, they certainly are now.
They bloody better be, because right now you just broken Heroic on match series group point. And G2, they still have a chance here in this game. Can't believe it. It's come down to the third map. It's come down to possibly an overtime. I would have my money on that right now if I could, because Heroic are broke, that means. They have nothing, Harry. They got 2K a player. They got an AWP. 15-12. 15-14, rather. G2 are making this happen. 1 more round to push them over the line, and they got the money for it. The same cannot be said for Heroic. G2, oh, what a way to end it. This is an El Clasico. The B rush, it's open, it's empty. Heroic have no one here. They have a double under. They're lurking, they're flanking, they're fast, and the bomb could get dropped near the backline. Stown's done damage. They've trapped the bomb. It's had to be smoked. Nexon needs to cross. Jax providing some support, and it does let the bomb get out of there with a Molotov and a shot through the smoke. Jax is pushing us to OT.
This was an OT that should have never happened. Physically shouldn't have happened. G2 weren't even in the server to make it happen. And here we are, Jax holding down the apartments. He's laying waste to them. And finally they deal with it. But this round, actually, I'm going to hold my train of thought. Cadian and Nico, they've got it into a 2-on-3. They're going to try and give it their best go, or else we're heading to overtime. And Kenny trying to send us there. It's Cadian left up, 1v3. A nice flick, but the trade is in. And we're going to overtime.
God.
G2 weren't ready for it. Heroic weren't ready for it. I wasn't ready for it. But here we are, Hugo. OT in our third and final map of the day. And I've got to say, man, I've never seen it done like this before. It has never been done like this before.
G2 have crafted the art of the disconnect strategy, Harry. You get your opponents too confident. You get them thinking they've already won the game, and then you strip it away at the last second and reconnect. and close it out. You take it to OT. Their job isn't done though, but I don't know where these players' heads are at right now. For G2 side, for Heroic side, I don't know what these guys must be feeling, because for Heroic, they had this game under lock and key. They had a 3v0. They've lost the bomb, or lost the round to the defuse rather, and then G2 pull it to overtime. They've got to be feeling pretty hyped about that one as well. And now with all the money in their favor, with 16k MR3, shout out to Dreamhack for that one. I do like the max money here for overtime. It means no saving, no silly business like that. You're going for every round. You're going for every clutch. But who will be the victor? That's the big question here. Could see double orbs available for Heroic thanks to said money. But they're taking their time.
I'm kind of just taking a minute. I need the calming music to relax me and remind me what it means to watch Counter-Strike. I need to get everything just kind of... Oh, let's just all take a minute. Please, join me in this.
I just don't know how this
Hugo,
happened
stop
again.
talk. Stop talk. We ain't start game yet. We stop talk. This is... time for composure. And then maybe a brief recap. Hugo. You want to tell us what's happened so far in this game? In the calmest...
No, I don't know.
In the calmest, most pleasant voice you can you catch us up to speed as to how we've ended up in overtime here?
Heroic. They pick Nuke. Harry. Heroic won Nuke.
Yeah.
G2. They pick Vertigo. Guess what happened there? G2.
They won Vertigo.
They won Vertigo.
Nice.
Now Mirage. The final. The finisher. 8-7 at the half. Quite split.
Yeah.
Right down the middle. But... just you wait. Heroic, they've got a few rounds of them. They bring it the distance, Harry. They take 15. They're about to push us over the edge.
Ooh.
And then G2 leave the server. And then G2 rejoin the server, and it's a whole new G2.
The Heroic win?
No. Don't be silly, Harry. Don't be silly. This is not your average Counter-Strike game.
They coosted it? They coosted it on Mirage?
I think we call it Nico now.
Oh, dear.
Hunter versus Nico, the battle we've all been waiting for. Someone told me this is a great matchup. I've not really noticed anything between Hunter and Nico. No banter there, but I'm not sure what I'm missing, really. We've got some tech problems, some headset issues, we're being told, so do hold on for that. We'll be back in with OT in just a moment. Things are crazy here. And I know Dreamhack, they got to be loving the overtimes as well, right? Already with 3 BO3s a day, it's a long day for the guys in production, but well, G2, Heroic, they're making it a really long day. Next in chat after that defuse fail. Guys, you're not G2, we are G2. Yeah, I mean, you know, sometimes the enemy of your enemy is a friend. That doesn't really work in that example, I realized after I said it. The enemy was the bomb, but it's not the enemy. Sometimes your enemy is your friend, maybe.
That people use,
yeah,
maybe
not in that
applicable.
context. Doesn't matter, we're back
into overtime, baby. Let's get this one underway. G2, they weren't expecting to be here. They really weren't.
Nope.
To the point where they weren't even in the server. So let's get ahead on this one. Let's see if they can bring the heat in OT. Amanek down into lower tunnels. They're out in top mid, but it's Nico to find the first kill. Jax gets dropped through the smoke. Hunter's going to get boosted up into the window, and that's a little faster than Nico was ready for. However, Katie in there, ready to get that trade, leaves it in the advantage of Heroic. Must be a nice feeling for Hunter to go blow for blow with a Nico for a change that he doesn't, you know, have any like family ties to.
You were going to say, like, doesn't hate playing, which or something, you know, he does hate playing it. Hunter talks about how he doesn't like beating Nico, or, well, I mean, everyone likes beating Nico, but he doesn't like playing Nico because he doesn't want to have to beat or, you know, only him or Nico makes it. He wants Nico to do well. Nico wants him to do well. It's a cute little relationship. But right now, G2, they might not be doing well. Nex is trying to make it happen, but it's a 3-on-3, and it's OT. It's the first round. Stan's pushed the Molotov. He's fighting, but he can't hit the shot. Oh, the second time, Nexter walks right back into him and gives him a kill with the bomb. Now G2 need to leave connected just to pick that round back up. They need to go past the AWP to get the package. Stan's seen him. chance. They will get it. Cadian in the site doesn't realize Kenny's deep. He tries to scope, but Kenny is quick, not quick enough. Borup trading and leaving Amanek with no time to go B, forcing the bomb plant here in the A bomb site. 20 seconds. He's trying to run down Borup. Borup has escaped, and Amanek doesn't have the time to chase. He can't run this deep into spawn if he wants this plant to happen. 10 seconds. Borup's coming back for the kill, and he should have it dead to rights. That's it. Heroic, first round of OT taken.
And yeah, you know, you can see Heroic, they're taking this all really well, right? Like really healthily, you know, like it's all just...
Yeah, good vibes all around.
You know, yeah, like everyone's feeling good. Get the reload off, go back in, 10 more bullets, of
Get
course.
off the defuse. You got to shoot him a couple more times, but...
16 to 15,
cool
and Heroic, they get the first in OT, and this is good, right? Like, you want them to get off to a good start, you want them to not be shaken up as to how they got to this point here and now.
If Heroic just closed this like they should have about 10 rounds ago or like 6 rounds ago, that would be kind of funny. Not for G2, obviously. They would have been like, wow, why do we even rejoin this server? We could have just, you know, had another hour off, but... Fortunately, the wild ride that is Counter-Strike, well, it has no brakes. Strap in or get off. Heroic have had just no dominion over middle in the CT side. The one round they tried to collapse into it in regulation. They were knocked out by a 4-man setup of G2 holding for the push. So Heroic, they've been tainted before. They don't want to do it again. Window smoke can come through for the likes of Kenny S, waiting for the fade, and it will happen. So re-smoke down and in through middle. G2 can move. Cadian's got the Molotov for Con. That's where 3 players are sat, but it actually fails, and the smoke got to triple. I like that from G2. They keep Cadian out of the picture here, and it's even on top of the bench to deny him above Ticket getting a view. That's a very interesting smoke that I've not seen before. Borup blown out of the water, 2 left up for Heroic. They got it done with 2 last time, but this is not going to be the same story. It's Tess alone now, a 1-on-3. The AKs were saved for Heroic, but right now they have not come into play. They have not saved this side, and it will be G2 equaling up the scoreline, 16 all. 1 round left of this half of overtime. And another double orb for Heroic to get there. Ooh, double miss. Try it once, shame on you. Try it twice, shame on me.
Luckily enough, there's no one from G2 there to capitalize on it. That could have gotten very, very bad, very, very quickly, but they've dodged the dangers well. G2 now do have a foothold in mid. They've also got Amanek up in Palace, and so early on, just spreading out, taking this default with a heavy emphasis on mid control. They really want to get this foothold before they commit to too much. And we're probably just going to see Nexa and Amanek kind of hanging around a bit to begin with, seeing if they catch any players going aggressive, see if they can get any info. And there are players aggressing at a ramp. I feel like Amanek had some kind of cue that this could be happening. He was really fixated on this side of the map from just moments ago, and he's even moved into position here. It looks like G2 are trying to split this A bomb site, and now would be the perfect timing for it. G2 gonna catch this A site as Heroic have just rotated players away to B.
Kenny threw that smoke from Catwalk, so it's going to land again. You see it's got a gap below it. That's just to deny a top triple orb, or a top ticket orb, rather. This is a mess, though. Kenny with a double, dropping out into middle. Sounds avoiding the AWP on the other side, but now he's hunting it down, and he will lose the fight. The Tech-9 comes out on top. Kenny with his teammate in a 2-on-1. Nico lines him up, but he can't get a kill. Amanek closes it, and it's 17 at the half for G2. They hold the lead by just 1 round. They need now 2 out of the next 3 in this half of overtime to close the map, to close the series, and to finish the game that they thought was already done. Well, it is not. And neither are Heroic. They've got more tricks up their sleeve, don't you worry. Double up on the T side as well, right in for a window smoke. They're going to be moving towards middle. It's actually a mid smoke, rather.
Double ops on either side of the equation. Interesting to see heading into this second half of OT. I think perhaps most interesting is seeing what Heroic are going to try and do with Stown and Cadian, right? They've split them up. Cadian's over in mid. Stown's got his in the apartments. And you're really hoping that this double AWP can show its worth by finding a pick. You don't want it to be a liability, and there it is. Stown opens up with his. Now Cadian's AWP left in middle, paramount to denying these mid-rotates. Nexter biding his time. Oh, only good for one. They are pressuring him, and in quite a big way. Nexter falls. Hunter arriving at the site. Kenny is held back in market by a Molotov, so he's a little bit slower to arrive here.
Kidding.
Hunter denies the bomb plant, a 3-on-3, and the bomb's still yet to go down. Kenny burns out Borup, but it's Stown delivering with this AWP. 3 kills in the site, looking for the 4th. A nice flick from Jackson. My goodness, this round is so back and forth. It comes down to this 1v1. Heroic, they put a lot of faith in these double AWPs, and Cadian, the only man yet to get a kill with his in this round. The Molly gonna force Jax forward, but not into the angle, not into the crosshair of Cadian. He lands the shot, and it's 17 on the board for Heroic. They tie this up. Second half of OT off to a rip-roaring start.
And we wondered about those double AWPs on the T side. Harry Stown gets 3. He's just pivoting on the site, killing Kenny, killing anyone as they rotate in, getting Hunter. And that looked like that was a G2 round, right? After Kenny got mollied in the market, draws in the attention, throws a molly on site, Hunter drops the bomb, G2 a man up. It looks like a locked-in round, but Stown just jumps out of the apartments and just kills everyone with the AWP. Traded by Jax, but Jax can't close the 1v1. It's Cadian moving forward with the flash, and wow, what a game we've got on our hands. 17-17 in the third map. We had a competitive nuke, another one on Vertigo, going 29 rounds on both of the previous maps, and this one has really delivered as well. Heroic not going down without a fight. Not without a pause either, but it's come to a close and we're back into the action. Stown doesn't have an AWP this time. He doesn't want to be too predictable here, as double AWPs can certainly create problems for T sides, can hamstring you at times. Like Stown does a really good job, but you won't see that consistently, and he realizes it. So back to a rifle, back to where he knows he can get value out of it. Amanek has an AWP. Kenny on the A site with his. One player pushing A early, just trying to create a bit of a distraction with his full util. As Heroic wait for B pushes, they wait for apps pushes. They know that G2 have been throwing in a lot of flanks, a lot of T-spawn walks on executes, but because G2 are playing in the site, they know these smokes are only fake smokes. They know they see no one pushing out of A, and so G2 don't begin any audacious flanks, and for Heroic, they just group back up towards A late in the round with more utility than they need, and enough to set up a second execute volley. Jax is playing close, the AWP is in CT, and Hunter is in jungle. Here we go.
Kenny, a triple in with the first. Even more players about to come and grace his screen, and Kenny, wow, putting on a bit of a clinic here at the A bomb site, has support from Hunter. 1 by 1, Heroic, they get stripped apart, and it's G2 in overtime to reach match and series point. Let's not forget, 13-15 in a 3-on-0. Heroic fumbled the defuse. Now we're in overtime, and it's G2 who might be about to win this series out. Just one away from it. Either they take the victory here, or we run back this clock again. Heroic, have they got it in them to take us to another overtime?
Well, we'll have to find out. They've already tagged Kenny up. He has been so good in this game and this series, but Mirage, a must for Kenny. Down to 30 in what could be the last round of play, or the round that starts it all again. Stown receives the tag of his own. Heroic won another A attack, but G2, I mean, it's the same setup. In fact, it's even more dangerous. They have this time Hunter in the site alongside Jax, who has an off angle towards Palace. He's trying to find Borup, who's looking for this pick, but taking his time while doing so. Full utility, no rush to the engagement. Heroic don't want A after all. They're going to walk out of ramp with the bomb. Back through spawn. Borup's the only man hanging around here in the Palace. Nico's still on ramp side. They're actually going to come in for a mid split and try and take over A late anyway. If things go wrong, cat to B is always an option, but Heroic right now, eyes set on one site. Mid is open. They've had no one here all round. G2 haven't been fighting for it. Nexus spotting from Cat. That's about the only information G2 have. Now Kenny has to post as well, but it's only a distraction so these A-site players can actually get out of the palace and ramp. They want Kenny looking the wrong way.
Yeah, and I might take up connector duties here away from Kenny, and that might free him up a little bit more inside of the site.
Oh,
Kenny sees one through the smoke, wasn't able to find it, and Heroic, they have opened up with 2 quick kills at the A bomb site. Oh, making a third. It's down to Amanek and Nexa, but Nexa is delivering. And now a 2-on-2. 10 seconds. The shot misses onto the man retrieving the bomb, so the plant is available. It's all settled here at this A bomb site once again. Heroic down to the 1v1. And Nico, the man who fumbled the defuse earlier on, now has to make sure this bomb can go off. Nico toying with Amanek. Amanek, getting tagged with every single peak, but still not moving, not budging, and he takes a shot when he knows he has it. G2, they lock in this series 19-17. They get it done in a 2-1 affair, and it's all on the back of that one round where the defuse is fumbled. They get it into OT and they close it out. My goodness.
My heart, Harry, my heart.
I am lost for words. I am lost for words after what we just saw,
What a nice try for Nico as well. The fact that he's like banging Amanek through the wood of default in that one-on-one and he still can't get the kill. Like, there's so many players to shout out in that game, but Nico's got to be feeling pretty rough. So do Heroic after, I mean, that was their game. That was their win, and they lose it off the back of a 3-on-0, a late defuse, and G2 pick up the victory. This is such a competitive group. That was certainly one of the best games we've casted in some time, but there's plenty more Counter-Strike across the rest of the day, so do stick around. We have more BO3s coming out of everywhere, and brought to you by Trace and the gang over on the analyst desk. That's who you'll be talking to next, so join them after a break.
Hey, it's me, Lily from AT&T. I'm back, working from home, and here to help.
Hey Lily, I'm hearing a lot about 5G. Should I be getting excited?
Depends. Are you gonna want faster speeds?
I will.
More reliability?
Oh, also yes.
Better response times?
Definitely.
Are you gonna be making sourdough bread?
Oh, is that 5G related?
No, just like, why is everyone making sourdough now? But yes, you're gonna want 5G.
AT&T is building 5G on America's best network. Visit att.com to learn more.
Me slipping today.